So that beeping noise that Todd's like, it's over there.
I have no idea where it was coming from.
It was over there, and I'm sitting here, I'm like, it's over there.
Yeah.
You have ear issues. That's what it was. And we're like...
Sound like the Twitter.
At first, we're like, Steven, your computer's making noise. Here, Joe.
He swore that it was my computer, and I'm like, it's on silent.
I know. Jared said, for sure, it's your computer.
For sure.
It's your computer.
So confident.
Well, I thought it was your computer.
And then
it wasn't mine because Joe muted it. It was the door for my August lock.
Best lock ever. What is that? Oh.
That's the.
I thought that was the door.
Jared's internet.
No, it's the August lock.
Internet.
I saw you can get it for $50 off. They're not a sponsor or anything. It's just my lock for
It's a
unlocking
great lock,
it.
but it does give you issues on occasion.
Yeah, now that I have the front lid off, I need to send it to them and be like, yeah, I got the lid off because if the lid is on, the front cover, it won't close. It's an automatic thing. Anyway, look it up. So what I wanted to talk about real quick before we got started is on Friday night before I went out, or was it Saturday night? I don't know. One of the nights, I just found myself sitting here watching Schindler's List.
Oh, it's a great weekend.
It's a really
Wonderful
blast.
And so, oh man, that movie is insane.
It is.
It is insane. And the other night,
It's an
last
eye-opener.
night, I ended up staying up late because they had the story, this woman's story from Auschwitz. And you and I were in Auschwitz last year, and they have the same train. Obviously, we were there. And
well, did you see all the Netflix stuff? There's a couple documentaries and a whole series from the History Channel or something.
There's a lot.
Yeah.
And I was debating.
Really good.
I was sitting there, and I added it to the show list of possible shows. Possibly doing that stuff. I don't know.
Heavy.
I know it's heavy. It has a lot of.
Well,
there's a lot of
remember-
history. You could do portraits of survivors that are there. You can do
Crazy.
stuff like that,
Yep.
and you can. We can. I think that is a very important show, and I'm not looking to be religious or anything because we are going to do an Israel show.
Sure.
But Israel show has the Arabs and the Muslims, and it has the Christians, and it has the Jews all in one. But I was thinking that.
Remember, we were going to do that when we were in Poland at Auschwitz. We were
We
going
were
to
gonna
film
make a
some
video.
stuff, and we're like, we can't.
We were going to make a video outside.
Even outside, we didn't do.
We didn't because I was like, I just don't feel like making. Like,
You want to be
It's-
respectful.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Yep.
of course.
well, it didn't have. It was not a respect thing. It was more of a. I don't feel like I don't. This isn't right to do right now. Like I would feel about it, and then when I got home and I talked about it, that felt right. But it was a crazy thing.
Crazy experience.
Yeah, but Schindler's List really.
Bet you had a great night the rest of the night then. You were probably really up all night.
I was fine. No, I was fine. But you know what? Watching that movie, they walked across that bridge. Remember that bridge that separated the ghettos from the not ghettos that we did? Mm-hmm. I was like, we were. So all that stuff came
It's
back.
like the Great Ferry Bridge.
Yeah. All that stuff came back that we ended up doing.
Yeah.
Because when we were there. Anyway, so let's get started. Jared Polin, FroKnowsPhoto.com. Welcome to RAWtalk episode number 161. How are you doing, Steven?
Doing wonderful on this rainy, drowsy day. Terrible day.
Drowsy day?
I'm drowsy.
You mean dreary?
Dreary, too.
Todd, how are you?
Can we hurry this up? I got things to do.
Oh, what do you have to do today, Todd? Edit the guy?
I got edit video game.
Feed
edit,
Morgan?
Yeah, edit and
Video games?
Raid on the Destiny. There's another guy I play with. I always forget the guy's names, but it just hit me now. The guy's name is Rainbow Beard.
Rainbow
And he's got a
beard.
rainbow in his beard. It's like opposite of Jared, but rainbow through his long beard. And he's a photographer. And
It's pretty awesome.
He's a big fan. And I play with him on the video games.
He was also out on Warped Tour working with different bands and everything.
Wait, Joe's trying to
Was
talk,
he?
but nobody can hear him.
Cool, Joe. Nobody can hear you, so shut your pie hole.
You do not get a mic, sir.
Joe, earlier, before we started, he was actually trying to politic a little bit for a microphone. He's like, yeah, somebody was saying I should get a microphone. I said, you know what, Joe? Shut the fuck up. Go get me a coffee.
You make your own coffee. And there's your mug, by the way. I cleaned it.
Thank you.
It went in the dishwasher.
Did you? So you used hot water?
I think the dishwasher gets hot
How do you
water.
even know if you have hot water? Because you don't have hot water at your sink.
No, because I had to turn it off. It was leaking downstairs 6 months ago, and I still
Didn't you buy a new sink that's been
bought the new
sitting there for
faucet.
like
It's-
months?
I
So
bought a
you
new.
can't find the number for a plumber on that iPad Pro.
So I brought a plumber in, and this guy was a dick. He looked.
I was here that day, yeah.
Remember? He's like, they called.
He didn't even try.
They got upset.
If I find anything wrong with your pipe, should I tell you?
They got upset that they took the appointment at 4:00. They're like, well, generally we like doing them earlier. I'm like, I had it scheduled 3 days ago at 8 a.m, but you guys canceled.
Yep.
So don't give me shit for you guys not wanting to. And the guy looked
that
at
was
it.
legit their fault. Yeah.
He's like, I don't know that hole's going to be big enough, and we don't grind it out. I'm like, you know what? Get the hell out of here.
He came in for like 10 minutes, looked at it, was like, "Yep, not doing it. Bye."
Right. Basically, is what he
What?
did.
Yeah.
Basically. So I have to call a plumber, and I got to get it fixed because I got one of those awesome those ones that you wave your touch. The Moen faucets. It was like $600.
Ah, sounds
Most
amazing.
expensive one.
In the box.
Yeah, basically.
Great. Yeah.
You touch it, and it turns on.
Only the best for me that sits in my closet.
It's underneath this. Anyway, let's get to the plug. All right.
Yeah.
Video blocks. So I've got a secret super offer. Remember their Black Friday offer through Cyber Monday that gave you 50% off of video blocks for the year?
Right.
They forgot to turn it
Air
off.
quotes for those listening.
Forgot to turn it off. So if you use this link, which is going to be on the screen this week, and it's going to be in the links in the site, it's www.videoblocks.com/x/Fronos VB4N.
Again, is that the code for the those the nuclear codes?
All right, videoblocks.com/lowercase x/Fronos capital VB49.
Yep.
And that
just went off for that one.
And that you'll put it up on the screen, and that brings up this offer right here.
Ooh,
Oh, look at that.
$50 off.
$50 off. That means it's half off, and that's
a
for
steal.
new.
That
that's
is a great
for
price.
that's for
Steal.
new customers
Yeah.
only. Yeah, so for $50, sign up, and you have all the royalty-free stuff to use. We use it each and every week on
Every video.
on every video
Yep.
these days. And I will say that if you're looking for one for audio blocks,
I was gonna say, is that just for video blocks?
that's just for video blocks. Coming up in December, they're going to give me another offer because so many people asked for it that they're going to do one for video blocks and
course.
graphic stock. Sorry, audio blocks and graphic stock.
Nice.
And so I'll give you guys the code when the time is right. Going to be making a video, but we're going to be sending out an email as well. But video blocks, 50% off. They forgot to take it down.
Forgot.
Whoops.
Joe, it was like
My
Joe.
bad.
It was like Joe was working there and was like, "When do I take down the Cyber Monday deal? Tuesday, Wednesday, maybe on Thursday."
December 4th, October 9th.
There's so many noises out here today, like
Yep.
outside.
because there's construction. They're like repaving the road down the street.
Thankfully, are they doing the road or are they doing the
I
sidewalks
can't
first?
tell what they're doing.
Do you know how
they've been
pissed-
working on it for like 2 weeks?
2 weeks.
They yell
Yeah.
at me
They've been
every
working
week.
on that for 2 years.
No,
They
I'm
yell at me
saying
every week.
I'm saying repaving it. They've been working on that part for like 2 weeks.
I remember when they were knocking down the old bridge and it
Yeah.
would crash and the whole building would shake.
Well, we were doing RAWtalk and all
Like-
the cameras were like, the whole building was shaking.
I'm like, that's good for the building.
Yeah, it's great.
Anyway, so thank you, Video Blocks. We support Video Blocks. They support us.
Oh, yeah.
We use them before they were a sponsor. We say that all the time because we like the product. We then work something out together that was mutually beneficial. They help us put this show on. They help with, they were in the Fronos photo show with footage that we used of
Yeah.
some of the
Yep.
Grand Canyon
Yep.
stuff. And it's funny because I showed it to Joel when I showed him the show. He's like, I shot that. And so that was pretty cool. And that's
That's
the founder
awesome.
and CEO
That's
of
awesome.
that.
He's a good guy.
So yesterday, 2 days ago, I got an email from ClickBank. That's this online service that I use for selling my products, the digital products. And they're like, "Do you want to go to Mexico? We're having an event and we have discounts." I'm like, "No."
No, I don't leave my house.
I'm gonna watch Schindler's List this weekend
Bring
again.
everybody here to watch Schindler's List.
So then what do you drink during a Schindler's List viewing party? Goldschlager because it's German.
Goldschlager.
Whatever's going to get you to pass out the quickest seems only appropriate.
That is such a tough movie to watch.
Yeah.
So then yesterday I'm thinking, they sent me the link. I'm like, oh, it's going to be at a cool place and it's all inclusive and maybe I should go. And then I'm like, okay, let me decide on going.
And then I got a text.
Well, then I text Steve. I'm like, you want to go to Mexico this weekend?
I thought you were just like joking around. I'm like, wait, what? I think that's what I said to you. I'm like, what?
Thanks for my text.
So it cost me only 35,000 miles. Air
Yeah.
miles. That's nothing.
Which we
by
travel
the
a lot,
way.
so yeah, you earned.
I
already a lot of
have over
miles.
360,000. So
Man.
that's nothing. You know how many flights I could get?
Yeah.
And that's to Mexico. And that was 2 days prior to leave, 3 days prior to leaving.
great.
That it was still that price.
Well, what's ClickBank doing down there?
ClickBank,
Yeah, what are they doing?
they hold these events for people that want to get into internet marketing.
Yeah.
You know, and then they try to teach them. And I'm not going to any of those events.
I was gonna say, are you speaking at all,
No.
or are you just
No,
going
no,
just
no.
for yourself?
I'm just going because remember, like for the last couple months, I'm like, I would like to go somewhere.
Yeah.
I would like to go somewhere that's warm, and I'd like to go to somewhere that has a beach and nice water. And and is an all-inclusive. So this is an all-inclusive. I just hope I don't get Montezuma's revenge. I can't drink water.
Are you still on the front page of ClickBank?
No, they've switched the front page.
He was on the front page?
Ah, dude,
Yeah.
for a while, I'd go
That's
on there
funny.
to log in, and I'm like, is that fucking Jared?
Not
Wait, so
Jared from Subway.
Are
me.
you going just by yourself?
I'm going by myself, but the ClickBank people will be there, so I know people that will be
Okay,
there.
that's
I know
good.
the girls that work at ClickBank.
Right.
They'll be there.
Right.
I
You don't bring
see.
sand to the beach.
Yeah,
I
Well,
feel you.
They're there. I was told I can swim with dolphins.
You told to the dolphins.
I'm gonna swim with the dog. I'm gonna try to put a GoPro up its butt. Bloop,
Probe it.
bloop, bloop, bloop.
Is that the sound it makes?
Anyway, so going to Mexico now. The big question is, what the hell do I take with me?
That's a good question.
At first, I was like, I'm not going to take my gear, but then I'm like, the one guy wants to go to.
You should take the Sony.
Chichen Itza.
What's that?
Chichen Itza.
Where's that?
It's the Mayan
bless you.
pyramids. It's like 2 hours away, and so I'm going to stay one extra day, and we're going to do that. We're going to stay in an Airbnb somewhere,
Nice.
out in the real world.
That'll be cool.
I'm scared.
You're going to be a miserable.
And so because I'm doing that, I'm taking my D4S 24 to 70, 14 to 24. I think I'm leaving the 70 to 200 home.
I'm surprised you're bringing the big guns out for that.
I want to take the best of the best of the best when I travel. I don't want to
yeah.
take the D810
So
again.
do you consider this like a mini vacay or no?
Well, yeah, it's a vacation,
And you're taking all your gear.
but I'm taking it to shoot the pyramids. If I'm going, I want to do it right.
Yeah, that's
And
true.
yeah, and I'll
I was
probably
just
throw
thinking, bring something small.
I'll throw
and
the
compact.
Sony in the pack for carrying around the resort.
Yeah.
But I also may take out that Nikon Nikon 1 AW, which is that underwater SLR.
You have that?
Mirrorless, not SLR, mirrorless camera. Yeah, it's still on the shelf.
I didn't realize you even had that.
Remember we got it when Amazon asked us to do the mirrorless versus DSLR videos?
Yeah, I didn't realize they gave it to us. I thought it was just a
I never
loaner.
sent it back. I have to send it back.
So it is a loaner.
It's a
one.
loaner.
You're a thief.
But it's an underwater camera with removable lenses. So I'm going to try it. Maybe
That's
I'll talk to
crazy.
a dolphin. But I'm going to take my gear. I'm taking the iPad Pro for the airplane. Got to remember, Joe, remind me after this, I got to download movies for the airplane. And then I'm taking my... So I'm thinking I may
What are you
just...
going to watch? Schindler's List?
I don't know what's... yeah. I'm going to watch Lost.
Lost.
The first when the airplane
Yeah,
crashed.
yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
God. So that's it. Going to Mexico. Gonna hang out on the beach. I'm going to try to do all of the extracurricular stuff, snorkeling. and-
Drugs.
Get a tan
hookers,
for once.
well, I was thinking of...
drugs.
and hooker. No,
I was thinking of taking an old I Shoot Raw shirt that's old and cutting the letters out and then taping them to my chest.
Please.
When I go out into the beach.
Please.
Anyway, I only have one bathing suit and it's hot pink. That's what I'll be taking.
Hot pink.
Oh, I
Is
bought
it
it.
a Speedo?
Shocking.
No,
I
it's
feel
not
like you would wear a Speedo.
It's not a Speedo.
Oh, you should totally
should
get a
wear a
Speedo.
Speedo.
Should I just take my Richard Simmons outfit? Just
Yep.
take those
Yep.
pants and wear those
That's
in the
pretty
pool?
much a Speedo.
for sure.
All right, whatever. Yeah, so maybe I'll take
Surprise,
that.
Jared's wearing something that gets attention.
That's weird.
Surprise.
We're heading to New York.
Yep.
That's why we're recording on a Wednesday. New York's on Thursday. We are doing a real-world review of the Sony RX100 Mark IV. We have a long list of things we want to try. Adam's going to be up
So
there
many
helping
features,
us out.
man.
There are so many
Got a
features.
lot to cover.
We do have a lot to cover, but
Yeah.
there is a real-world review that we're going to be doing on this thing. Hopefully we don't mess up.
Hopefully.
Hopefully it's good.
Well, Joe's not going to be there, so we should be fine.
You've been playing with this?
Yeah, for about 2 weeks.
So
Roughly.
about
I
a
love
week.
it. The only thing is the slow motion video. You need a ton of light.
Yeah,
obviously,
save that.
'cause
There's
you-
a question about that coming
Okay,
up.
I'll save that for later then.
so shut
But
up.
the quality-wise, great.
The one thing that the Sonys have that are confusing is the menu system. There are so many sub menus. It just
It took a
takes a,
while to get
little
used
bit
to.
of time to get used to.
Yeah.
But once you get used to it, they have so many program where you can preset things that make it easier. It just takes time.
And I was telling you yesterday about the C button that you can pretty much have the manual like built into the camera. So anytime you come across something in the
Yeah,
menu and you're
that helps.
confused about,
I always
hit
have
the
a
C
hard
button,
time finding
tells
the
you.
C button. Ask my wife.
But it's great though. And then you can preset any button to whatever you want.
That's what I just said.
Yeah, same with the ring function and all that stuff. So good
Okay. So that's New York, Empire State Building, Times Square, and
Adam.
and
And Adam.
what's that park called?
Central.
Central Park. No, Adam will be there. I already said that. All right, let's get some New York State of Mind music to lead us into photo news. Brought to you by audioblocks.com/go/fro. Don't forget that VideoBlocks has forgot to turn off their deal for 50% off.
Forgot.
Use that code up on the screen. You ready? 3, 2, 1, go.
I'm walking here.
Okay.
News-wise, we got toy camera brand Hogga is officially no more after nearly 34 years in operation. The U.S. distributor of Hogga cameras...
It's because the hipsters aren't buying enough of it.
Now, the U.S. distributor of Hogga, Freestyle Photographic Services, has announced that the factory has ceased operations on making any new Hogga cameras from here on out. Now, President and COO of Freestyle, Gerald H. Carmiel, says, "It is with a sad heart that we say goodbye to a camera that has been so popular with so many. A Hogga camera really is about creativity and unpredictability and a refreshing medium in today's digital age."
I blame the hipsters and the millennials because you're the people that love shooting Hogga. It's so amazing getting all these light leaks into, oh my God, the film quality. Oh, it's to die for. It's just so much better than digital. You know what, you hipster millennials that have never shot film back in the day that are shooting film today, I don't have a problem with you shooting film. But when you sit there and I go, hey, did you shoot film? They're like, yeah, film is so awesome. I'm like, so what'd you do with the roll when you had it processed? I had it scanned.
Took it to the photo barn.
Yeah, you defeat the whole purpose when you have it scanned.
And not
go
printed.
make a contact print.
Yeah.
Go make a print in the dark room and then take a picture of the print or something or scan the print. You're like defeating the purpose when you scan it and share it on Instagram. The film now you're just scanning film, which when you scan black and white, by the way, the silvers and everything. Oh my God, does the contrast go bananas when you scan
love
it?
that.
Oh my God, when I scanned my black and white negatives, holy Jesus, because the light transitions off the silver particles, the grain in it, and oh, it's awesome.
You can tell where your Lightroom processing comes from.
It's very similar to how I did in the
I
dark
love how
room.
you process your black and white.
Thanks,
I definitely
man.
do.
Thanks, man.
Now he goes on to
Thanks.
say, Hogga outlived many other cameras, but as like we
Doesn't
have
matter.
seen
You're still out of business.
throughout
Shut
the
up.
years, is yet another casualty of the digital age.
Or
to-
maybe you just didn't evolve. Stop blaming digital. This is called evolution.
And then a factory spokesperson in China that makes the cameras.
Yeah,
say,
what'd that sound like?
All Hogga tooling has already been thrown away, and there is nothing available
See,
for
that's
sale.
bullshit. Why would they throw out the tooling?
But they say inventory is still available throughout the U.S. and around the world, but as units sell out, they will no longer be available.
So what kind of a camera was it? Is it a film
It's a
camera?
medium
or-
format toy camera.
So it takes a
Toy
roll that's
camera.
this big, 120. Okay, so about this big, and it'll
Right.
go through, and you get 12 shots on that,
And it's
I
like a
believe.
$35 camera. It's super cheap.
So-
it's plastic.
That's a marketing issue right there, because my daughter asked me for a Polaroid camera for Christmas.
Polaroid
this
by
is-
word, by name?
By name.
She didn't say like Fuji Instax?
Nope.
So you can buy her
By
Fuji.
name.
Why don't you take her one of my Fujis?
I'll take anything for free.
Well, dude, they have the Polaroid Snap
Merry
too, which is the
Christmas.
same thing but the Polaroid brand.
Do not buy anything Polaroid.
It's
But that's a marketing
rebranding.
thing.
Do not.
Because my daughter's asking me for a film camera, basically.
Wow.
Well, why? I have a million Instax cameras here. Yeah, and of course Todd wants it for free.
Merry Christmas. There you go.
Take money out of my daughter's mouth.
She can't eat, but she can
She'll
get some
be
new
able to eat
toys.
on Christmas because of that.
But don't buy Polaroid. Don't buy their Snap. I know that Amazon was promoting that heavily. A lot of people were promoting. It's not Polaroid. It's a company that bought the
Well,
name.
it's like Kodak.
Hold on.
It's the same
Hold
thing.
on. Hold on. Yeah, it's like Kodak. A company bought the name and they started branding products, and it uses this really crappy. It looks like crap.
Zinc.
The Z Ink technology is terrible. If you want an instant camera, Fuji has kicked ass with it. Fuji's not a sponsor. Fuji's not anything to us.
Nope.
They've given me a case of that stuff over the years, but it's worth it. The Instax stuff is tremendous. Now they of course have an uphill battle to get rid of the Polaroid name,
Of course.
but the Instax is great if you want to do something like that.
And
So
have
the
the new
Instax, to me, help me out. The Instax is in a similar vein as a Polaroid. Like it's,
Yes, it's an instant
it's a picture
camera.
that comes out.
Yep.
It's
Copy
instant, but Polaroid's out of business.
that. Right.
Fuji still makes the instant film for a large camera as well as the small cameras. And what I was saying about Hogga is so back in the day, it's a 30-some-year-old camera, like Steven said. It was a camera that was meant to have imperfections. It only had
Yep.
a couple of f-stops on it,
Yeah.
and the shutter speed was, I think, locked.
It was like 1/100th or something. I forget
Something
what
like
it was.
locked. So it's all plastic, and it was cool because you're like, oh, we're getting light leaks, and you used to have to use tape to seal the door, and so that light would come in and create all this stuff, and people would be like, oh, this is amazing.
Oh.
Hey,
Sounds
Joe,
like a
can you
shitty
go
camera.
dump the water out of my chicken and put it in the fridge for me, please?
It sounds like a shitty camera
Thanks.
is what it sounds
It
like.
is, and then people would be like, dude, it's just so artistic. It's so amazing.
Oh.
Now, the Instax, though, do you think she wants a big Polaroid image or the small
I
ones
would
like
go
the
with the
mini
small
prints?
I don't know. She's so random.
Yeah.
It's
She was
whatever,
like,
it's
mini
whatever
prints
she
are
sees the girls on
much
YouTube
cheaper.
do.
Oh my God. Do you know what Todd would do? What Todd used to do? No, leave it in the container, Joe. Yes, thank you.
Chicken talk with Jared.
I'm just
Polin.
saying, I needed to defrost it because I'm getting ready for Mexico in 2 days. We're going to New York tomorrow, so I don't have time to cook
going to
my
Mexico?
chicken tomorrow. So I'm going to cook my chicken for the airplane ride out. So I'm going to make a breast of chicken so I can eat it. I pull it out of my bag and I start chomping down on the chicken.
Is there any protein in chicken?
There's a lot of protein in that.
You gonna take nuts too?
I always take nuts on the airplane.
Peanut butter crackers?
I take a peanut butter cracker.
I'm not buying anything on the plane.
No, they don't offer you food that's quality. They offer you like ham sandwich.
They do. They'll have like a cheese thing
Shops?
or a protein
I
plate
don't
or a
eat
salad
cheese.
or they got all different options.
And I don't know if I'm upgraded to first class yet.
A sham for you, Jared?
who I am.
Next up, we've got Instagram is finally starting to roll out support for multiple accounts, similar to Twitter and many
thank
other
God.
social media apps. I know, right? Now, Android users that are using Instagram's 7.12.0 version of the app have already begun seeing the new feature in their accounts. Not yet on iOS though. Now, here's how it works. The feature is found at the bottom of the settings screen. You simply click Add Account, and after you add another account to the app, you'll be able
it's
to
not on
quickly
iOS.
switch. Not on iOS
God.
yet. But you'll be able to simply click switch between them without logging out and in by tapping a selector next to the account nickname at the top of your profile page. Again, very similar to Twitter. It's like exactly the same.
Oh, that has to happen.
It's
I
great
need
because
that. I
for
need
me,
that.
I run the Radio 145 Instagram
You
account.
still
for example.
run that account?
I do on
Oh.
occasion when I shoot shows
That's
for
why
them.
it's so
I
shitty.
usually post a picture from the show
Right.
away. Anyway, I'll switch back and forth all the time. I have to completely log out, and it's such a pain.
It is a pain.
Where
Super pain
Twitter,
in the
you
ass.
can easily
Yep.
be like, boom, I've got like 4 Twitter accounts locked up.
Yep.
It's great.
Yeah,
I have
that's
a
good.
couple.
Now, by the time this comes out, it might be official that Instagram maybe rolled it out to everyone. But
I would love
as of right
that.
now, at the time of this recording,
I would love
it's
that.
only on
Yep.
Android. And there's a ScreenFlow video on Android of how the new feature works over on the website. And yeah, so you guys can check that out.
Yay.
Give them the link.
Hurry.
FROnosPhoto.com/RAWtalk-161.
Speaking of mobile photos, a 68-year-old man named Derek White has sued Apple and won after his honeymoon pictures were accidentally deleted from
First
his
off, he's
iPhone.
61 and getting married.
He's 68.
Good for
68.
him.
And he got
Good
married
for
to
him.
a 50-year-old, I believe.
Ooh, cougar.
My
And
man.
I guarantee his finger was on half the pictures.
Now, the images were wiped during a repair visit to Apple's Regent Street Apple store in London last December. White says he took his iPhone 5 to the store after receiving an error notification, and after getting his phone back, he found that all of his data was erased.
Well, I mean, they tell you to back up your data.
He's 68, so I get why
They
he
always
didn't,
tell you
but-
back that ass up.
But even before you take it in, they're like, back it up.
Well, that's the thing.
How did he win?
Let's see.
I think he was saying they didn't tell him to back it up.
He says, it was only after staff fiddled around they asked if I had backed my
Fiddled.
things up. My life
like
was
my
saved
dad.
on that phone. I lost my favorite video of a giant tortoise biting my hand on my honeymoon.
If my dick was in the tortoise's mouth.
That was his favorite photo.
And when I say hand, I mean my dick.
Now, White then filed a lawsuit against Apple for £5,000, which is about $7,500 US, claiming that Apple employees were negligent with his photos and data.
No!
Now, the courts agreed, and last week it ruled in White's favor, awarding him
deal in favor
about
of
£1,200
Mr. White.
in compensation. Now, Derek told the court they knew they had done this and sent me on my way. This is where my anger is. They sent me on my way like an imbecile.
Cheerio.
I said, I'm not leaving the building. You will have to call the police.
Oh.
Now, in its
Wait, no, you'll have to call the Bobbies.
You'll have to call the Bobby.
Hey, hello, I'm a Bobby. We have a problem here, Mr. White. Don't make me get out my beating stick.
I know you don't have a gun, so I'll just stand here and talk shit.
It's time for you to leave, sir. It's
I'm
tea
not
time.
doing shit. It's Leviosa, not Leviosa.
It's tea time, sir. Go get tea and crimpets.
In its defense, Apple said that White handed his phone over while knowing that his photos weren't backed up, and that the employees inform all customers that data may be lost before doing repairs on devices. Again, he says they didn't tell him that. Now, District Judge Ruth Fine ruled Apple were negligent. She says
She's old as shit, too, and
just
mad.
because damages are difficult to assess
Just
does not
because damages are hard to assess.
it doesn't disentitle
It doesn't
a claimant
disentitle
to compensation.
somebody to compensation.
Now, White says it's a victory for the common man who sought to stand up against multinational corporations. They
It's a
should be
victory that
brought
you
to
got money
boot
for your shitty fucking photos.
when they do wrong, but they are usually too big for anybody to take
First
on.
off, did he get his photos back?
I don't think he got his photos back. He just got money.
Good. You
'Cause
don't
they wiped
deserve.
it.
You don't deserve your photos back, sir.
But his photo of his favorite photo, the tortoise
Biting his hand.
And that's why he's like, I'm missing a finger.
And how how did he film it? Was it in the water?
Well,
Maybe
tortoises
that's what was
don't-
wrong with his phone.
I don't know.
Look, I get it. But you should know that when you are taking your stuff in, that it's possible that they have to disconnect the battery at some point or wipe your entire phone to find something. Back it. What does that song go?
Back that ass up.
How does it go?
Girl, you look fine. Won't you
Back that ass
up? You a fine mother.
What?
Won't you
back that ass up?
Yeah.
Right.
I forget the rest.
Back that ass. Just remember, when in doubt, back that ass up.
Now, I wonder if he really wasn't told to back it up beforehand.
It doesn't. It's probably in those
I
terms.
wasn't told to back that ass
I'm
up.
sure there's some kind of fine print.
So
but yeah,
you know
sucks.
what? Every time you go into an Apple store, they should have like a bunch of women there just saying, "Back that photo up, back that photo up,
Yep.
back that photo
New
up."
marketing campaign.
Exactly.
Hello, it's me. I've been wondering for all these years where you have been. Hello.
Have you listened to the new album yet?
No, I refuse to until it's on Spotify.
I know, man, because I pay for Spotify
I'm not pirating
too.
it. I will
Yeah.
refuse to. I mean, 5 million copies or
Well,
however
you
many
could
they
just
sold.
Pay for it.
No. I will wait till it's on Spotify. I refuse to give them money anymore.
Yeah.
I do.
Yeah.
That's so old school, and she's the only one that can get away with it.
I know.
Obviously, because she
Taylor
sold
Swift.
so many. Well, Taylor Swift took much longer to sell 1 million copies. She sold
4 million,
like
I think,
4
in the
million.
first week or two.
So people really
T-Swizzle.
care.
It's crazy.
Did your wife buy it?
What?
Adele?
One of them did.
My girlfriend did.
One of them did.
What's
Morgan or Jeannie.
Well, Morgan, Morgan makes more money than you anyway.
She was sitting on a $50 gift card for the longest for iTunes.
Yeah, you can't buy gift cards for iTunes unless you're doing it for movies now.
Really?
Because, no, you can, but who buys music when you have Spotify?
Yeah, that's why I don't get why they're like, buy it on iTunes, but they have Apple Music and every other streaming
Because
service.
you can't stream it on Apple Music anyway.
Next up, we have the Netherlands National Museum. Its Rijksmuseum asked visitors to replace their cameras with sketch pads during the recent Big Draw event. The campaign, it's called the Big Draw, is an effort to get museum guests to ditch their camera in favor of drawing artworks because you see more when you draw. The campaign is being promoted with a picture of a big camera with a big giant red X through it as well. Museum General Director Weem Pibbs says, "In our busy lives, we don't always realize how beautiful something can be. We forget how to look really closely. Drawing helps because you see more when you draw."
The Netherlands.
The Netherlands.
Is is that where they have the red light district?
Is this, I don't know, is it?
I don't know.
Or is that Amsterdam
Is that
or something?
Amsterdam? Is that the
I feel
same
like that's
thing?
Amsterdam.
Or is that where Anne Frank's house is in the Netherlands?
Now, the museum adds that the problem now is that we look at things quickly, fleetingly, superficially. We are easily distracted by other people, our own thoughts, a little device vibrating in an inside pocket.
That's your dildo you forgot to
maybe
turn off.
We have to learn how to look. Now, at their Big Draw event, which was held on the 24th and 25th of October, they even handed out sketchbooks and pencils to visitors who wanted to draw. For those who missed that, they're also holding a Drawing Saturday every week.
Is it cool if I draw on my iPad?
Handing out drawing materials and giving visitors assignments in various spaces around the museum.
Great.
So the event already happened, but they are doing this every Saturday,
Cool.
encouraging people to draw versus taking
Wonder
pictures.
how many they got people's sketches. F you, give me my phone back, prick.
Did you see the eyebrows on Meep? I
Huh?
posted it on my personal Facebook.
Eyebrows on Meep?
Who?
It's
Not on
Beaker.
Fleek?
It's Beaker.
Meek?
It's a picture of Beaker.
Yeah.
And it says eyebrows on Meep. Meep, meep, meep,
Oh.
meep, meep.
That's
I
funny.
got you.
Eyebrows on Meep. That's good.
You love that word, on fleek?
Nah, I think it's died off.
Yeah, at this point.
I think on Fleek, dope. It died off.
The
It's not on
Pirelli
Fleek.
calendar switched things up in this year's edition by bringing in Annie Lebovitz. Now, usually they have models and famous actresses posing like half naked in suggestive
Yeah.
poses. Where this year, Lebovitz took it in a different direction, the opposite direction, actually. While past women were chosen merely for their looks, this year's were chosen for their achievements.
Keep going.
Women
The
have
2000
achievements?
The 2006 oh god.
What?
The 2016 edition
He
will
doesn't work
feature
here.
portraits of mostly fully clothed notable women professionals,
That's a
women
waste.
who have made it big in the art, entertainment, business, and other industries. Now the portraits feature Yoko Ono, Patti Smith,
Wait,
Serena
wait,
Williams.
Wait. What's the first one?
Yoko Ono.
Wait. This just in. This is Yoko's new holiday
she's not
track.
naked. If that's what you're wondering.
Hold on. Yoko Ono's new holiday track right here.
Oh, boy.
Yoko Ono.
It's beautiful.
That is
so
a Yoko
beautiful.
Ono song.
Love it. Anyway, other people who are featured: Fran Lebowitz, Amy Schumer.
Who is Fran Lebowitz?
I saw
don't
Amy
know.
Schumer's shoot. She
'Cause
was, she,
Fran-
she put stuff
Amy
on her
Schumer
Instagram.
kind of blew the whole thing up.
Yeah.
Dude, who is Fran Lebowitz?
I don't know.
Did you see? She's interesting looking.
What do you mean?
Well, she's just like big glasses and just like, I'm Fran Lebowitz.
And this is Lebowitz.
Oh, it's not
Lebovitz. Same as she's not
Joe,
related to Annie at all.
look up Fran Lebowitz.
No, Lebowitz.
Look up Fran Lebowitz.
Lebowitz.
Fran Lebowitz.
I guess we can't look it up on that giant iPad in
Well,
front of you.
I didn't want to I didn't want to take away from this.
Anyway, it featured a bunch of other people as well.
Who else?
Now, you want me to? I don't think you're going to recognize.
Yeah,
these
just
people.
read the names.
Okay.
Read the names.
Because you
Amy-
didn't say Serena Williams.
I did.
We're
I mean,
stretching.
Venus
This
Williams.
is called stretching.
Venus Williams is not in it. Serena Williams was.
Dude, did you see her ass?
She's got a badonk.
Yeah.
Oh
Every
my
time.
God. Did you see the size of that thing?
You can put
Love
a nice
it.
little plate on there.
Love it.
Now, Amy Schumer, Tavi Jevinson, Ava DuVernay, Natalia Vodianova, Agnes Gund, Kathleen Kennedy, you might know her, Melody Hobson, Shurin Nishat, and Yao Chen.
Yao Chen.
Do you know any of them?
Here's a
I
picture.
dated 4 of them.
Here's a
in
picture
college.
of Fran Lebowitz.
Yeah, there she
Lebowitz.
is.
Oh, all right. I think I know her.
I don't know who she is, so let's see what her Wikipedia says. Born October 27th, 1950, is an American author and public speaker. Lebowitz is known for her sardonic social commentary on American life and filtered through her New York City sensibilities. Some reviewers have called her a modern-day Dorothy Parker. Who the hell
You know
is
who she
that?
looks like? She looks like the older
Now
woman
let's look up Dorothy
on
Parker.
that cop show with LL Cool J. I forget what that
Well, the
cop
older
show's
woman
called.
that used to be in...
She does kind of look like her, though.
Yeah, that woman who in that movie, her necklace came out in that evil movie where the French teacher, remember this? What was that movie where the guy they go to France and he becomes an undercover agent and he's playing Baccarat or something.
Panther.
And he gets 21 and they're like, no, you need to get a 7. He puts on his X-ray glasses and sees the girl over there that's dressed like that is a guy actually underneath. What was that movie called?
I don't know.
I don't know. I feel like we've gone down a really deep rabbit hole right
Go ahead,
now.
Steve.
Yeah. Let's see. So you can see behind the scenes videos of the photo shoots over on the website.
Which were actually good for once.
Yeah, they were, because Vanity Fair didn't do them this time.
Oh, yeah.
Now, there's also final images of the actual calendar, all the final prints over on the website. And Lebovitz says in the video, the whole idea was not to have any pretense in these pictures.
What the hell does that mean?
And be very straightforward and show these women exactly who they are.
Okay.
So I guess they didn't
Well,
do
they
them
know who
up
they
and-
are. Show everybody else who they are.
All right, so here we go. So the Amy Schumer picture just pisses me off. Why does the Amy Schumer
I know
picture
why.
piss me off? I made a Snapchat about this
I don't
yesterday, and I'm like, you had all of this space to get her foot in there, and you cut off her foot. And I thought maybe it was just the way that the picture was.
She
No,
didn't get her toes done.
they cut off her foot. How, Annie? Why are you cutting off her foot? Look, with photography, it doesn't matter certain things like how good you are. It's who you know. It's that you've been doing it a long time. It's the fact that how do I add? It won't let me add Instagram for some reason to my iPad. I don't know why, but it's about the people who are in front of your camera. Oh my God.
What's that one?
That's some serious muscles going on right there, man.
Sheesh.
Serena Williams.
Sheesh.
Wow.
Todd almost knocked his laptop over with a boner.
My laptop's about to fall
Oh my
off. by
God! Look at
itself.
the size of that. Anyway, I'm not ripping on the photos. It's just something like, how are you going to cut her foot off?
And I'm assuming she left that backdrop
On purpose.
up on purpose
Yeah,
to
there's
show
no
like
pretense, Steven.
exactly, yeah.
Whatever pretense is.
Yeah,
That's
because
why she
I
cut
saw
her
people
toe off.
commenting
That's
about
why
that.
she cut
They're
her
like,
foot off.
She didn't even,
No pretense.
cut out the
No
whole
judge.
backdrop. It's like, well, that's not the point.
No judging.
Oh, maybe I could get from here. It would never show up in the store.
What are you trying to get?
Instagram.
You should definitely download it during the show.
Yeah,
Whatever.
for
I'm
sure.
doing it right now. Go ahead,
Right.
Steven.
Next up, we have here's a horror drone story.
from the outside.
Where'd you get
Perfect
that from?
timing.
I got it from Robin Quivers singing "Hello" on Stern.
Okay. So yeah, horror drone story. Now, a man sliced through his friend's 18-month-old son's eye after flying a drone too close to him. Now, the boy, named Oscar Webb, was playing in a neighbor's garden with his dad, Rick,
Now he's one eye Oscar.
and family friend Simon Evans, who was flying a quadcopter drone. Now, as the friend tried to land the drone, it clipped a tree and was sent spiraling in Oscar's direction, leaving him with a slice through his eye. The father says, in quotes, "To see it happen right in front of me was absolutely awful.
No pun intended.
I was about to put Oscar on his trike and take him home. As I glanced over at Oscar, the drone went straight into his face. I saw the propeller speed up, and I saw the blade spin right through his eye. I saw it go in, and a bit of his eye landed on his T-shirt. It was just horrifying. He screamed through the shock, and so did I.
Oh, no.
He says, the sound was terrible, like nothing I've heard before. People don't realize and understand how dangerous drones can be.
Oh, yes, we do.
I've got one myself, but I'll never fly it again. People should wear eye and neck protection because those propellers can be deadly, he says.
Well, we used to wear neck guards when we played hockey because of how sharp the I once got stepped on. A little kid, when I was reffing, knocked it. He was going the wrong way. Anyway, he hit me from behind, and I fell backwards. As I fell backwards, my hand slid down his skate. I looked at my hand only to see two white, because the way that a skate is, it's a hollow, and it didn't bleed.
Did it hit the bone?
No. It wasn't bad. But it sliced right through here, and you know when you get a really sharp cut, it doesn't bleed instantly.
Yeah.
But it was such a clean cut that when it started to bleed, I was like, oh, look at that. I have two lines. So I went over to the bench after the stoppage. I'm like, you guys have got some gaff tape? No, sorry, hockey tape? And we hockey taped it up till after the game.
What's that one? I seen that one video on YouTube where the guy gets his neck
the
sliced.
Goalie?
Oh my
So there was a
God.
goalie. There was a goalie back in the
Terrible.
day that he you can look this up. It was and this first off, this is a terrible story about the
Gruesome.
kid. Did he lose his eye?
So let me just finish this before you get into that. He was then rushed to the hospital where his right eye was later removed. The boy will require several further operations to mold and fit a prosthetic eye. And although he is still able to see through his left eye, his parents think life will never be the same for their family.
He'll be fine. He's young enough where he won't know the difference as getting old. He'll deal with it.
And there's a picture. Yeah, there's a family picture. With
Know what he's
him.
going to be for Halloween, though.
A pirate?
Yep.
Too soon, Todd. Anyway, there was a guy, I believe he was on the Buffalo Sabres back in the day, and a guy skated in and somehow fell and it cut his jugular.
Yeah.
Oh,
Luckily,
shut up.
Luckily,
Shut
he went like this, and it just starts. Luckily, one of the players went right over and put his finger in it and stopped it, or he would have died. He would have bled out on the ice.
Isn't that how you die from cutting your neck? Is because so much blood gets lost, not necessarily. Anything
Well, if
getting
they cut your
cut?
trachea,
it's a main
you can't
artery.
breathe.
You also have like a main artery in your
That's
leg.
what I mean.
There's a couple
It's
main
more for the
arteries that
blood.
if they get chopped good enough, you're done.
Yeah, if you bleed out.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Can I pee?
You got to pee
gotta
again
pee
during the
again.
show?
Yeah.
This is like the third week in a row. You're like Todd, like 60 years old. How was your pee break?
Good. It was good.
Lovely.
Yeah.
We've got our buddy Benjamin Von Wong. He spent 2 weeks chasing storms and taking portraits in the horrible weather. Teaming
Take
up.
my eye out.
What are you going to shoot him? Oh, God. Teaming up with veteran storm chaser and photographer Kelly DeLay, he put together a series of unique portraits of everyday activities with crazy storm weather in the background. Now, his initial reaction was coordinating models, building sets, and designing lighting, all without knowing where the shoot would take place. While storms zip by at who knows how many miles per hour, it would be an absolute nightmare and impossible to pull off without funding. We should think of a different project.
So where did they get funding?
He never said. Never said where he got funding.
Was this a funding campaign for that change or something?
This was, I'll get to that in a minute. Now, with the storms traveling more than 30 miles an hour, the team only had about 10 to 15 minutes to pull each shoot off, and he got some great shots out of it, obviously. For example, he's got a woman ironing like her clothes while there's a tornado-like cloud in the background, a man taking notes at his desk while lightning strikes the background. A kid taking a dump on a toilet with newspaper in hand and all, with some crazy clouds behind him. That
Some
kind
guy
of
with
stuff.
an afro
Everyday
taking pictures
people.
at the edge of the Grand Canyon while a storm comes in.
But basically, everyday people doing everyday activities in this giant, storm background.
Crazy.
Now, the best part is that he somehow got hold of an ambulance for the project from a friend named Ryan, which his team loaded up with all the gear and the props, lighting, everything. He says we could transform the ambulance into a mobile protected light box to make sure we didn't lose time setting up lights. Now, the overall goal of this project, to answer your question, was to ignite a conversation on cowspiracy and the fight against climate change. I think
It's something
Cowspiracy
on
is
Netflix,
a documentary.
and I think it's Leonardo DiCaprio.
Okay. But you can see the resulting photos over on the website, along with behind-the-scenes video that Von Wong actually put together himself. Really cool stuff. And I think he worked on it 8 hours a day for a couple weeks until they finally got enough portraits to put it out.
Huh.
On the topic of weather, a new interactive website called Sunset WX tells you the quality of an upcoming sunset in your area. Now, we've talked about several apps like this in the past, which let you track the times and locations of sunsets.
Today's forecast, rain.
Where this website will tell you how good the sunset will be. Now,
How
the website,
good it's going to be?
How good it's going to be, like the actual quality of the sunset.
That's bullshit.
That's what they claim. Now, the website was created by 3 Pennsylvania-based meteorologists.
Well, that's different. It's Pennsylvania.
Now, and they only have a working map of the U.S. right now. So if you're anywhere else
that's all
around
that
the world,
matters. I mean, that's
yeah,
all that
check
really
it
matters
out.
if you really think about it.
The sunrise and sunset models take into account things like moisture,
Sunrise,
pressure, and cloud
sunset.
coverage. Co-founder Jacob D. Flitch says, the most important factor I look for is sky cover, and more specifically, the existence of high clouds over the area. High clouds not only provide moisture to refract the sunlight, their wispy formation also provides texture to the sky and are high enough in the atmosphere for the sun to scatter light below.
Yeah, you don't need to be a scientist to know that a cloudy, overcast day is a great time to shoot because it's a big-ass soft box.
And he's saying, think of these as a movie theater screen in which light can be projected upon.
Cool. Thanks, nerd. Shut up.
Now, the warmer the color, the better the sunset and sunrise will be in camera, like on the actual picture of the U.S. Now, co-founder Jacob D. Flitch also says, we take it for granted sometimes that we have nature and weather around us. This, hopefully, will help people to go out and see for themselves.
What
Nerds.
ISO do they recommend?
He goes on to say, the idea for a sunset model was sparked from my interest in both meteorology and photography. It is important to have both meteorological models as well as
Dude, they're
models
so hot right now,
that can be
meteorological
very
models.
useful
That's what
and
I'm saying.
sensible.
They pose with the clouds.
Amazing.
He says a way to communicate
puffy
certain
ones?
phenomena that meteorological
Meteorological.
data
Guy
can output for public use. Anyway, they listed sample
sounds like
images.
a party animal, though. Honestly, we should track him down and go drink with him.
But they have a bunch of sample images on the website.
Yeah, we got a meteorological specimen right here.
Yes, I've got cloud cover, and yes, Becky, if you want to come and we can look at the high cumulus clouds tonight and drink some Yoo-hoo.
Yoo-hoo! Oh, that's Yahoo.
Now, in the sample images, they mark the location and they have a screenshot of the map along with like the actual photo that was taken there. And everyone seems to be like a super rad sunset and sunrise. So it looks like it really works.
Yeah, sure.
Obviously, I haven't tested it out yet, but
Good call.
it looks cool.
Go test it out.
I will.
Today, test it out.
Now.
Facebook is now
Yeah.
letting the everyday user upload virtual reality 360-degree videos, which they call spherical content. They launched the 360-degree video concept last month, but they didn't allow all users to upload content until they worked out all the bugs. Now, some limitations. The video is still a little choppy, but it does work. And a few browsers still don't support it. You also cannot embed the video on other sites.
Right.
You can only view them on Facebook itself.
Have you looked into how to properly edit the files that we get out of the 360 camera so that you can edit it and put audio there and
the only
do things?
editing it was fine. The only issue we had was the audio wasn't in sync because the frame rate changed. Remember, as a variable frame
Yes,
rate,
yes.
it would go from like 10 frames per second to 24 to 10.
Yep.
Well,
so
'cause-
if you line the audio up, it eventually gets off
Yep.
track.
Remember when I watched the Gary Vee thing and he had text in there and he had himself in there twice and all that stuff?
Again, if we didn't have audio, I think it would be fine.
Well, they had audio.
Separate audio, plugged in from an external source.
Yeah.
What did they have?
From a camera.
Okay, well that's
might have
odd.
been
Then they had a
in-camera.
different camera because the camera we used changed the frame rate. I'm sure there's plenty of 360-degree cameras out
Sure.
there that lock the frame rate in.
So I'm still
The
trying to
camera
figure
we
out
used was not the best.
a lot of people are betting on 360 and VR.
It is cool.
But for sports, it's like, unless you're going to put a camera on the floor, like say a basketball game, and it's going to go in, it's just like, wow, so I've got the crowd behind me. What they're trying to make is an immersive, interactive, like imagine going to a movie theater, and the whole movie theater is...
And now I can turn around and look at the guy jerking off? What do I want?
No,
I want
not-
to see what's in front of me.
Not Pee Wee Herman. But
God.
if what I'm saying is, say you go to a theater and they have 360 headsets
Theater.
at the theater, and you sit there and it's on swiveling chairs, so everything can go around, and the movie content that they're playing is all shot 360, and your experience changes each way you look. And each time you see the movie, you see something different.
You can't tell a story that way.
You can tell a story
you
that way.
cannot.
Well, imagine if you're the person and you are you're moving around.
So if you're looking over here and the important moment and emotion in that character's face is there,
I feel like you'd have to
makes
watch
no sense
the video
whatsoever.
like 10 times.
That's the experience.
It's called 1980s Epcot. Flight of Wonder in China or something like that.
Captain EO?
Yeah, no, that 360 technology. That's horrible for storytelling.
Now, remember at Canon Expo, we tried that out. They had
was
a little
awesome.
chair with 360-degree video, and they gave you the VR goggles.
Oh, the VR stuff. I mean, that's going to probably be huge
cool.
for games.
Yeah, for
Sony's is
gaming,
probably.
for
I think
sure,
Sony's is
obviously.
coming out next year.
Cool.
Yeah.
Now, as far as uploading the video yourself, here's how you do it. You go to your feed and you click to upload a photo or video just like normal. As it is uploading, you click on the Advanced tab, and you have to actually check the checkbox to indicate that it's a 360
Oh, really? There's an Advanced
degree
tab?
video. Yeah, now there is. So then it will process
I
correctly
have an advanced
on
tab.
Facebook.
I don't know if you do, Jared.
Yeah.
I get other privileges that you don't.
Uh-huh.
And we've got a few more stories. This one's different. Photographer Peter Adams Sean of Memories Tomorrow Photography. He put together a slideshow of images that capture a wedding through the eyes of their guests.
You
Literally.
mean a dog? Was it the dog one?
No, this is not the dog one. Now, focusing on each retina of each guest, the photos showcase the reflection in the eye, which all highlight an important moment during the wedding. So it's just a picture of the eye with the reflection of, like, the bride or something, for example.
This could be a terrible thing. You got like the best man checking out the bride's rack.
I'm sure he only featured the good ones. But I think what happened, it seems like he got a bunch to volunteer and he did them close-up macro shots.
Yeah.
And then he actually got a couple that were not even paying attention, like at the wedding, and shot them far away and cropped in. So it's kind of both. Some already knew what was happening. Some weren't.
Interesting.
Some didn't. Now they're all done in camera as well with a 5D Mark III. Nothing was photoshopped. Again, he did crop some of them though. And you can see the whole video slideshow over on the website.
Huh.
It's different. That's why I wanted to bring it up.
Got
That
it.
sounds interesting.
Unique.
Speaking of
New
Facebook,
York.
Jared, why were you on Facebook Live at like 11 o'clock last night?
I was promoting the end of the sale. It was 10 o'clock. It was 10:30.
Yeah.
I was promoting the Black Friday sale through Cyber Monday, and
Yeah.
we had it set to end on Tuesday.
Yeah.
So what I do is I go live, and there was over 1,000 people watching, and I would answer questions that people had, but I would also every couple minutes turn and say, "Don't forget about the Black Friday sale. Please go
I
take
watched it
advantage
for a
of
little
that." There's actually a subscribe button after. You could subscribe to those now.
It always pops up on my phone
Pops up
every
on my
time.
feed every time. And it actually says the title too, whatever you title it.
Yeah.
It says Jared Polin or Frono's
Is
photo
live
is
now.
live now. I'm
Watch.
like,
yeah.
screw
I know
him.
Kelby's been doing it a lot lately.
It's just
I
so
saw him-
amazing that you can reach people. And I think sales did well from that. I think it was a good thing to make people aware. It seems to be more effective right now to do those live things because there was 2,300 comments.
It's different. No one's really doing it yet, but I think when it gets
Yeah.
oversaturated, that's when it's going to be.
Well, yeah, they'll be like, oh,
Done
so this
deal.
person. Well, you know who did it? Mike Rowe does live, and he's got 200.
Mike Rao.
Does he?
He got like 50,000 people watching.
What does he talk about?
He and his dog Freddie. I don't know. They talk about stuff. It's Mike Rowe. He's just sitting there, and there's thousands upon thousands of comments. It's a great way to interact with people. It was like when we used to interact on Spreecast. That was cool, except you had 400 people or 200 people or 90 people. You have
But everyone uses Facebook. That's
well,
the
but everybody
difference.
uses Facebook, and that's why I don't use Periscope or do we even hear about Meerkat anymore. You know, I barely hear about Periscope.
yeah.
There's a lot of people that are Periscoping, but I'm not going to Periscope for 800 people.
So what's the difference
80
between,
people.
say, using Periscope versus Facebook?
Periscope seems seems to work better because it's open for everybody. And they've got all those likes things and what do they got, those hearts. But I'll go on Facebook video all day long because when you can have 1,000 people watching instantly opposed to having 80, your message can get across much easier.
So the sale's over now. All done.
Yeah, the sale's over now.
Thank God.
The
Is
codes
it
are done.
over or it's actually
No,
over?
they're done.
Okay.
But I always suggest that if you got the email that said there was 4 hours left because it went out at 8 and the sales end at 12.
Really, like 10 hours.
No. I'm saying if the clock has stopped ticking, always try to use the code still. Try to use the code. Anytime anybody has a code and they say it expired, a lot of times we leave it run just for a couple hours more because there's people around the world that may not have had a chance to do it. And so I let it run maybe for another 12 hours without promoting it, and then I turn it off. But there's always those times where people are like, oh, I was going to use it. And even if they said that after the fact, I'd obviously give them their discount.
Yeah, you're really good with that.
Yeah.
We've got a new pop-up book entitled This Book is a Camera, and it's just that, a book that can turn into a camera. Now, created by artist Kelly Anderson, the book both explains and demonstrates how a camera uses light to create a photograph. She says,
Look at this photograph!
I wanted to make a working camera within an educational pop-up book, one that connects the dots between design and science, structure, and function. Now, the book comes with instructions on how to use the camera, along with a starter pack of black and white Ilford photo paper, even details on how to develop it at home.
Well,
if
what do you
trust
do with the
yourself.
photo paper?
Take it
You
to
develop
Photo
it.
Barn.
Yeah, take it to Photo Barn. Now, here's how it works. Once you open the book, the camera pops up. You then simply lock the tabs at the top to flatten out the camera, the corners, and you then load the camera with film in the back slot, and it exposes with
It's
a
not film,
built-in
it's paper.
paper.
Sounds like a pinhole camera.
It is a pinhole camera, basically. It exposes with a built-in retractable shutter, just
Cool.
like a pinhole camera. And there's a short how-to video demonstrating exactly how it works. Put that over on the website.
That's pretty cool.
And she's self-publishing this book too, which
How much is
sells
it?
for $29.
Is it on Amazon?
No, I think it's only on her website, but I'll put that link in the description in Photo News. She's even released a free PDF cutout version of the camera. I thought this was pretty cool. So if you want to make the camera yourself at home, you can do that as well and not even buy the book.
Nice.
But yeah, it's cool. And then we have Adobe has released a big November 2015 update to their Creative Cloud apps. Have you guys updated this yet?
Yeah.
Are you on Creative Cloud yet?
No.
You're still not? You just have the
Screw that.
production suite.
Yeah.
Will you stop being cheap and get Creative Cloud?
I haven't really had any. Well, I had, and I haven't upgraded.
You really don't
my,
have a need for it, though.
I haven't. What's the latest?
Premiere?
No. What's the the most updated OS for Mac?
Oh,
Well,
is that El Capitan? Or
That's El
whatever?
Capitan, but you
Yeah.
haven't even upgraded to the last one?
Yosemite.
Yeah. Or whatever.
I did that. Yeah.
I haven't done El Capitan
I
either.
always wait a while. Well, and if I'm in the middle of a major project like editing this guide, I don't
do the
want,
same. I don't
want
update
to
anything until I'm
upgrade
done a
Any
video.
of that stuff because it can
Yeah.
it can throw a real
Yep.
monkey wrench. I saw somebody complaining about, oh, my projects don't open now because I'm like, well, why would you update
In the middle.
like the day it comes out?
Yep.
So
And that's the
anyway.
other thing. I always usually wait until like a second version comes out,
Yeah.
like a more refined
But there's
version.
no reason to upgrade that quick.
Yeah.
Anyways, to
like the
go
Lightroom,
back to your
remember?
question about CC.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure my production suite will be in El Capitan.
Oh.
I think. I haven't double checked that, but I think it's not going to be compatible at that point.
All right. Well,
Huh.
you'll get
Yeah.
the other one.
But anyway, again, they released that big November update. Now, the main apps updated include Photoshop, Premiere Pro, After Effects, and Audition. There's other ones as well, but again, they're the main apps. Now, I'm not going to go into details for all these because there's just too many, so I'm just going to focus on Photoshop here because it is a photography podcast. Now, Photoshop CC was updated with a new custom toolbar feature that lets you create your own toolbar, basically. Adobe says, you've been asking for toolbar customization for years, and today, that dream comes true. Now, the new customized toolbar...
Fairy tales can come true. It can happen to you if you're young at heart.
But the new
I
customized
can
toolbar
make
panel...
it to 25 by a quarter to 9 if you're young.
What are you singing?
It's an old song.
Young
What's
at
it
heart.
called?
Young at heart.
Yeah, Young at
Who
Heart.
sings it?
Some old person.
It's in a lot of like romantic comedy movies.
Oh, okay.
Jared's favorite.
I love rom-coms.
You do. But the new customized toolbar panel lets you customize exactly what tools show up in your toolbar and in what order.
Wait. Can Todd go in the toolbar?
Todd can go in the toolbar. There's also
Oh,
a new
damn it. I still
startup
didn't
screen.
get my... Dun-dun-dun.
Yeah, you got to get that.
Yes, that was the greatest joke
Ever. Best joke ever. There's also a new startup screen that will show you recent files you've worked with, similar to like how Premiere and Lightroom have always started up. There's a new touch-enabled interface that will look consistent on both Mac and Windows touch-enabled devices. And so now when using the touch-enabled version of Photoshop, there's larger tab targets, the ability to swipe to scrub, undo, redo history, two-finger scroll lists, five-finger tap
punch.
for full
Five-finger. I
Five finger
love
death punch?
five-finger.
a larger preset option, and easy access to soft keys for Command, Option, Shift, and more.
Really
So that update
complicated.
is now available, and you can see a couple videos introducing all the features over on the website, how to use them. And I put a link to the full changelog too for those interested to get
Any
all the
update to
details.
iPhoto
No update for
for my
iPhoto.
editing?
That's not Adobe though.
Okay.
That's it for photo news.
How was your Thanksgiving, by the way?
Wonderful.
What'd you do?
I gave thanks and ate turkey.
Well, Steven, or Jared, I saw you hanging out with a fat baby.
Fat baby?
So they had this baby there, Michael. Well, the kid, honestly, he was
Whose kid was it?
Honey's daughters.
Okay.
My dad's girlfriend's daughters. So
Gotcha.
when the kid was born, I learned that he had to have surgery because he wasn't growing. He wasn't doing anything. And
Good
what
job,
I
Todd.
think ended up happening, they said I didn't know this stuff because I've never had a kid.
Yeah.
But one of the practices that they do, and so they took him down to CHOP, which is one of the best in the country,
yep.
and they fixed it and they did the surgery to fix something in the brain, in the head. They had to do brain surgery.
Crazy.
There's a suction cup that's used if the baby to help them get it out.
Oh yeah.
And that, they say, causes a brain thing, hemorrhage.
Wow.
yeah.
More often than why would you do that? Why would they do that?
I guess that's a
Just
risk
call
they
a
have to
plumber
take.
in, get the sucker out.
I just, if we find an issue, should we let you know? It's just that. So anyway, the kid is now growing, obviously,
That's
and
good.
they put him in that thing, and his shirt was too small, and I'm like, I got to take a picture. So I
He had
asked,
like a half shirt on.
I asked permission. I
It
said,
was
can
hot. It was hot.
I asked permission. You have the photo right here. I said, can I post this? I think this would be memeable. I want to see what people say. Comments.
That guy in a
It was funny.
little
That's how I
coat.
felt when I saw it. I was like, ah.
Right. So I put that up.
That's funny.
Anyway, I ate chicken.
I went to.
You didn't eat turkey?
No,
Do you not
I went-
like turkey?
I don't like turkey.
I went to
The same
Connecticut,
thing.
and then that's why I was up at ESPN.
Yeah. How was ESPN?
Oh yeah, that looks
It was
pretty
cool.
cool.
Yeah, it was cool. It was hot as balls in that particular
Really?
control
You think
room.
everything would be really?
Oh, the control room.
Cool.
He said
down.
it's normally cold in there, but
Yeah.
he said somebody in there that
For the
I guess
equipment.
before him needs it hot. But yeah, it was like NASA. But what I would say is, in their studio, it's basically like 4 walls, and they can flip to all different sides to have like infinite possibilities of like shooting setups. Like
Yep.
every wall's a different setup.
Yep.
And I actually took more pictures and photos because I was thinking about for things we might do, but
It's like Kelby kind of has that
it
setup.
was pretty cool. And they did stuff on the fly. They were shooting stuff back to LA and doing. This
How was their
and that.
switcher? I can't imagine how big their board is.
I didn't really see. I didn't
probably
see
just
that.
insane.
I was sitting. My buddy's the director of Sports Center.
Yeah.
So I kind of sat next to him and the producer. So I just kind of listened to him. But a lot of that stuff, like a lot of the camera moves, they pre-shoot. Like when you see like the monitors with like the team logos on, and they do a little pan by it.
Yeah.
They do all that in advance.
Have it all
like
pre-programmed
an
in the
hour or
switcher
two
and boom,
before,
boom.
they'll do pre-production, shoot a lot of that stuff pre-roll.
Ready, camera
And then,
one.
and then it's just literally the guys talking. And he said even sometimes the talent will come in advance and will do some of the speaking parts prior to have that on
wow.
tape. So, the more stuff they can put on tape to just put into a queue. They just have this giant queue they just go
Damn,
through.
that's
It's
cool.
crazy. It was interesting. He was like, I can't believe you stayed for the whole thing, but I was like, it's kind of like
Why, how long was it?
I nerded out.
Yeah, I would've nerded
2
out, too.
hours. And basically they do an hour. It's basically a repeat, hour to hour. If you watch Sports Center, you probably already know that.
Yeah.
But they'll tweak it in the second hour if there's games that finally finish, or they throw it to some guy. They throw it to somebody, some game, and they'll throw it back.
Interesting.
And it's but it was really interesting to hear my buddy talk as a director to his people, and the producer right next to him talking to like talent, and they're just yip 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 all in each other's ear, but like to separate people into their microphones. And I was like, I don't know if I'd be able to focus.
Yeah.
If I heard this person next to me
It's
barking
tough.
orders over
Yeah.
here. But but my buddy, when he asks for stuff to happen on set, there's just like gremlins that like come out of the walls and things move and change, and
Like
then they
people.
just disappear. It's amazing.
Wow.
I was gonna say, how much crew do they have? Probably a ton, right?
Ah, dude, it's a pretty massive setup, because he would just be like,
Awesome.
I need all that clear. All of a sudden, the desk and things would be gone, and gremlins would go back into their holes, and it was incredible.
That's cool.
All right, let's get some ESPN wrap-up music similar to
Camera one, and go.
Go.
24, go. 25,
Ready, camera 2.
go.
And go.
No.
Yeah, it wasn't even 1 and 2. It was like 23.
Ready,
27.
camera 37.
Yeah, but don't they say ready camera 23?
Nope.
Take 23.
Nope.
Well, that is the proper way to do it.
It would usually be like there's like 27, 25, 13.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
It was like Marty McFly in Back to the Future.
This just need to have an iPad that they just touch it.
He doesn't touch anything. He's a real diva. He's a real prima donna.
This Audio Blocks music has been brought to you by audioblocks.com/go/fro. And don't forget about the 50% off the video blocks by using the code, videoblocks.com/x/Fronos VB, capital VB 49.
Oh, the best part about me sitting there,
Still
my
talking.
bad. The best part was I go in early with him and he's like, "Oh, just sit here in the seat next to me." He's like, "That's where the producer sits." I was like, "Oh, I probably shouldn't sit there." I'm respectful. I know the chain of command. And I'm like,
Hey,
he's like, "Oh, no,
farting in
you're
the guy's
good." He's
chair.
like, "No, you're good." He's like, "She's not even going to be until like 20 minutes before." Next thing you know,
She's in there.
I'm sitting in there and she's
Who
right
the
next to
hell
me all
are
of a sudden.
you?
Like, she goes, "Who are you?" I was like,
The new
the
producer.
I was
off
like,
my chair.
and then he was like, "Oh, this is Todd." She's like, "Oh, this is Todd." I said, "See, I told you." And then all of a sudden, her computer doesn't work.
Oh.
And I'm the one that was sitting there, and she's like, "Todd, what the hell did you do to my computer?" I was like, "What was Black Friday sales?" And I tried to
Porn.
make light of it, but then the nerds came in and fixed it. But I was like, "Oh, for the love of God!"
All right, let's get to gear of the week. Last week during the show, you mentioned a book, and it
did.
was lunchtime.
You ordered it on the show.
I ordered it on the show, and
Yeah.
it came the next day. Actually, it would have been great if I ordered it and there was a knock on the door.
Oh my God! Same
No,
day
and a
delivery.
drone flew through
Yeah,
the window
drone.
behind you.
We got your book, so I just bought it out of nowhere. It says $45 and 30 pounds, but what it cost me? 20 some bucks.
It was like 20, yeah, something
so
like
I
that.
haven't opened it because Joe just peeled off the plastic before the show.
Well, what we wanted to know is, are there actually stories, or is it just portraits?
It looks to be
Just pictures,
Just
right?
pictures.
Oh wow,
Man, I would
actually,
love
they're
to
pretty
know what
good
they
though.
ate.
the pictures are, yeah, they're really good.
They're pretty. Oh God, look at this. Is like Todd as a.
No,
And
man,
this
those
was like
kids
late
look
70s,
way
early
cooler.
80s, Chicago,
is-
New York, European.
I wish there were
couple cities
stories.
there.
Humans of New York. Oh my God, that's the same one we
Yeah.
saw. But oh God, these. Oh my God.
Well, like Todd said last week, it'd be interesting if they were like, this is what they ate for lunch or something like that, just like stupid stuff.
I had a coffee and a Knish.
Yeah.
Oh, that cigarette's the best. Those true longs.
Oh,
Those
man.
are true long.
Virginia
brand.
Slim.
So what's cool? No, that's not even a Virginia
I
Slim.
know.
That's just like a long
Yeah.
thing. Virginia Slims was a big tennis sponsor, by the way.
Was it?
My mom, they used to have the Virginia Slims. So it says, these pictures were taken with a Rolleiflex SL66 between 1977 and 1980.
Cool.
Mostly in Chicago and New York. But if you
Chicago.
are also from Paris, Arles, Blackpool, Miami, and Palm Beach, I would escape my work at lunchtime and walk the streets meeting people at random. Now, the photos are shot really tight. Oh, my God.
Really tight.
Look at these glasses.
What do you want to talk to me about? You want to take my picture?
Fran.
I was
What
just
do you
going to
wanna
say
take?
Fran.
What are you gonna do with this picture? You're gonna put it in a nudie magazine because I don't do that on the street. Now, if we go into this alley, I'll take off my glasses.
What I'm finding myself looking around the scenes more, trying to see cars in the background,
Yeah.
trying to see advertisements. Oh my God, that's a big girl. Like she's tall,
Or he's short.
or he's short, right? It just looks cool. I wish there were stories. The kid's got a James Bond shirt on. All right, I need to put this down. This is a pretty
that's
cool book.
amazing shirt.
I like the photos. I do wish there were stories. Of course, that's what Humans of New York is, but those photos are pretty cool.
Yeah, that's cool.
All right, so that's gear of the week.
Nice gear.
Time to get into flying solo. I
Yeah,
should have
flying solo time.
Yeah, I was going to talk about Dave Leno, but we're going to talk about him later.
Sure.
Yeah. Yes.
Dylan, Mason, Connor, Sup Todd, Jared, and Steven.
There's the right order.
Hope you guys remember me from the TSA question.
Nope, totally forgot about you, Dick.
Grin emoticon. Got my lens fixed, and thanks for the Rode Video Micro.
That's the one they cracked his lens, right? Or something like
Yeah,
that.
but he goes on to
yeah.
not even tell us who fixed it and did he have to pay for it.
Oh, that's good.
I'll
Thanks
tell
for
you
the
more.
update.
He left an extra comment when somebody's like, well, did they fix it? And then he gave his answer. I think he just wanted more airtime. It helps a lot with my videos. Well, I had a client, and then he asked a question. I had a client ask me to make them prints, and I've never really thought about what to price my prints. On Adorama Picks, it's fairly cheap to get prints made, and so it's inexpensive for me to have them made.
Double it.
What would be a good range of pricing prints that can maximize my profits but won't turn away my client? Also, what theme do you use for your blog website? I don't know what theme I use for my website. By the way, he said, I used to use Momentum, but I don't know what it's called now. He said that no, the TSA did not fix his lens. In terms of, you order prints on Adorama Picks, they're very inexpensive. Yes, Todd said you could double it. That's still inexpensive. If you order a $10 16 by 20 or 20 by 30, you can make a little bit of, you can make more money than that if people are willing to buy it. I can't tell you what prices to set your stuff at. It's what your clients are willing to spend.
Yep.
Otto Munches.
Automatic.
Hey, Jared, Steven, and Todd.
Yeah.
Fro. First first off, if all thank you guys for all that you do and continue to do for us. My question is, would it bother you if someone takes one of the photos you took and makes a print out of it for their own use? Well, in this day and age, I'm putting up stuff for personal use for people. If they sell it, then yes, it would upset me.
Yep.
But other than that, it's not something that you should worry about. In this day and age, I still get people emailing me, well, how do I protect my images on the website? How do I do that? You don't worry about it. You don't worry about people stealing your shots because if it's going to happen, it's going to happen.
If they're going to steal it, they're going to find a way to do it.
You need to put your shawl on?
Yeah, I'm chilly,
Joey,
Todd.
you might want to help
Jared's
Grandma.
cold.
You might want to help Grandma get her shawl on.
Remember how we used to put it on and then like flip it over your head in kindergarten?
Oh, yeah.
They're like, because we couldn't, as a kid, you for some reason, or I couldn't. I can't say.
I feel like I could.
I can see you.
No, it was like this. Hold on.
It's hard to put your jacket on when you're running around in circles. Jared, put your jacket on. Jared, what? You still can't do it.
You just flipped it upside.
You still can't
You're wearing
do
it upside down now.
How did they do this?
You put it on like a normal
I don't know. I
person.
put it on like a regular child.
Maybe it was like this.
You were all hopped up on.
Hands in.
On apple juice.
You were all hopped up on apple juice
high
trying to
C,
put on your
yeah.
members only jacket.
Members only.
Oh man. What were we talking about?
People stealing images.
Oh no, that reminded me. There was this kid named Eli at Montessori school. Eli was
Hippie school.
like 6'5". You know, we're 5 years old. You'd
was
walk into the
6'5"?
bath.
What?
No. It was like we were 5 years old.
Oh.
This kid Eli, you know, the one that's the smelly kid, little chunkier.
Sure.
Yeah, he was. He was a little stocky. You know, he's a stocky dude at 5.
Stocky and smelly.
You would walk into the bathroom, and he was one of those kids at 5 that would be at the urinal with his
down?
pants all the way at his ankles.
Butter style.
But he's 5 years old. I mean, that's what you did as a 5-year-old. You stood there, and you're like...
I actually went into like a Target or a Walmart, and there was a man
That's the
with his
best.
pants around his ankles, bare assing it at the urinal. And I was like...
He was regular?
Whoa. Huh?
Like, he was like a normal guy?
I didn't really get all up in his face, but I was just like, whoa, look at that. And then I was like, that looks really comfortable. It looks really refreshing
He's got a great ass.
to have my ass hanging out and just air it all out for a minute.
I walked into... I was at the mall a couple weeks ago, and I walked into the bathroom, and there was a kid doing that. But he had mentally... he was slower, and his dad was... I mean, that's just... It is what it is. You
Could
just
he
sit
get
there...
his jacket over his head? Probably better than you.
No, those are the things like you don't make anybody that makes fun of that type of thing. It's just like really, you just have to feel for the parents who you're very thankful when you have a able-bodied child or something. And as my dad used to say,
I feel bad for your parents for sure.
my dad, what do they say? There for the grace of God goes I, or whatever that statement is.
Yep.
But you just have to feel for people that have the patience to do that.
Yeah.
You have to do it.
Yep.
Anyway, moving on. Did I read this guy's question?
About
I'm in the
stealing
market
prints.
I
for...
feel like this episode's called The Rabbit Hole because we've gone down rabbit holes multiple times.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that was, would it bother you if somebody did something with your prints? Then I put on my jacket, and then Todd said something. Stephanie Ferranti. Hi, Fro, Steven, and maybe Todd.
Stephanie, don't be like that. You know you like me.
So I got a text.
Oh, no.
I got a text.
Oh, no.
I'm listening to music
A
yesterday.
personal text?
Well,
Oh.
I got a text. So you want to talk about passive aggressive?
Always.
Hi, I'm home. I just wanted to respond. Good for you. Me too.
Weird. I am too. Turn it up.
It's not even that loud. But it's just like, you know what I'm saying?
I can't.
Is that passive aggressive or what?
Absolutely.
Hi, I'm home.
If you want to
Period.
say, hey, can you turn your music down? I'm trying
Yeah,
to
there's
use
nice
the
ways,
I'm trying
polite
to
ways
use the
to ask.
rabbit, and I can't think. Or hey,
I sent you guys that video.
Hey, I'm on
my
Tinder. I'm trying to
gosh.
find another one date that nobody will call me back.
Oh, stop
after
it.
After the night
Stop it.
sleepover.
Stop it.
Okay.
I sent you that video, though, because I went into my bathroom to pee the other day.
Well, that was downstairs.
Yeah, that was
the
downstairs.
commotion downstairs.
You've got some interesting neighbors.
That was cool,
are
right?
Very loud.
I don't say... I'm not going to say it just in case somebody listens. Oh, man. Because you know that we'll get back, and I'll get in trouble. Fro, Steven, and maybe Todd.
I could probably play it.
Don't do that. Are you going to do
it? Where is it?
Don't do it.
Don't do it. Oh, geez. I'm in the market for a new computer to edit photos. I know there is
I got one here for you.
I know there is the Apple line of computers, but I'm on a tight budget right now.
That's my computer.
I would like to know what laptop should I get. I would use it for editing photos, going on the internet, etc. Porn. I'm currently using a tablet.
You put that in.
But I want to use, this is a girl, I want to use the regular version of Lightroom
She
and
still
Shop.
watches porn.
Love the show, thanks. First off, the reason I picked this is because it's not about whether you get a Mac or a PC.
It's because it's a girl. We never have any girls right now.
It really doesn't matter what you get. But the only thing that I want to say is you mentioned you don't need a laptop. A lot of people have this thing that, oh, well, maybe I'll take it with me. But 99% of the time, you're working in your house. Buy it. Do they even make desktops anymore? Yeah. Well, like an iMac is a desktop.
You can buy desktops.
Yeah, an iMac is a desktop.
Like, I would focus in on spending the money on a desktop, so you have a larger monitor. You don't have a laptop that it's not as easy to edit on. It's smaller. I feel like get a tower.
Well, and like you said, the monitor is the big thing for me. Like going from a 27-inch to a 15-inch laptop is night and day.
I think
it's so much easier to edit on my
it depends on your
desktop.
workflow. If you're moving a
You're
lot,
right, it does.
Maybe a laptop is the way to go, and you
Yeah.
get a monitor that plugs in if you need the extra real estate to see.
It's like Richie. Richie brings his laptop and everything along with him, right?
I have both, but I will say
an external monitor.
I open this laptop up once a week right now.
That's how I am usually.
What would
with
your
that,
daughter
too.
find on your laptop?
Probably all her videos, because she'll be like, "Daddy, can I use your laptop to watch YouTube?" I was like, "Yeah, but do this for me. Sign out of my YouTube account and sign into your own." No, because I keep getting suggestions for like Amanda things and beauty tips and how to make your locker for holidays. Oh my God. And I'm like, oh my Lord. The suggestions I get in my YouTube now, if anybody saw them, they'd think I was the biggest 9-year-old douchebag in the world.
So I was at the bar yesterday and I got an idea.
You saw Morgan?
No. I'm not going to say it. I'll tell you guys off air.
Okay.
Ooh.
Yeah, remind me, Joe. Take a note in your Evernote.
I know you remind Joe of all these things. He does nothing to keep track of it.
Joe, what was the first thing I asked you to remind me of?
Yeah.
That's true.
That's
Make a
good.
note.
That's good. He
got it
is
all
young,
up
though.
here.
He is young.
Marek Model. Hi, Jared, Steven, and Todd, exclamation point. My question is about the GoPro you put on top of your DSLR when shooting concerts. Do you ask specifically for permission to film? Because 3 weeks ago, I was shooting a concert for the band itself, and I put a GoPro on my DSLR. But a guy from the band's crew told me to stop filming immediately, so I did. But I was wondering if you have ever experienced that before, or do you ask specifically for permission to film with the GoPro and getting your photos your photo pass? Thanks for all the content you provide us with. Cheers. No, I never asked for permission. If anything, turn off the blinkies, the red lights, so that they, and especially if you're shooting for the band, they shouldn't care. But it's like, oh no, it's taking still pictures. It's taking the wide angle shot.
Actually, that's a good way to put it. Yeah.
It's getting a wider angle, so I'm covering I'm taking pictures. Every time I take a picture, it's set to just take pictures every half second. The entire
Send
show.
me all those then.
Yeah.
Well, you could just chop it up and do it, but that's really what it is.
Yeah.
That's what I would do.
Ask for forgiveness, not permission.
Yes. Nicole Briner, in regards to print size, is it better to offer full frame sizes, i.e. 12 by 18, or just go with more common sizes, i.e. 11 by 14, 16 by 20?
Good question.
I'm trying to narrow down products to not overwhelm my clients, but it seems like all the frames are your typical 8 by 10, 11 by 14, 6 by 20. The full frame prints just look so much better. By the way, I took advantage of the Adorama Pick 16 by 20 print sale last week, and you were right. Bigger is better. Huge in Donald Trump voice. Thanks for all you guys do. When it comes to clients, it's not worth trying to explain full frame to them. It's really not worth it. Give them what they need, what they want. They want, because all they know about is what they can get frames for.
Can I get 8 wallet size?
If it means that you have to crop it, so be it. as long as you have enough room to do it, it's like it's one of those things. It's just you just do it.
Yep.
Personally, when it comes to your own work, you can do whatever the hell you want. But when it's a client, they don't know any difference. Just make it easy. The easier you can make it, not being pretentious. Like, no, I don't crop. Well, which is what I say.
Who says that?
Well,
But you understand what I'm saying.
Well,
when it came to wedding albums, I would make square pictures. I would do whatever it needed to do to look good in the wedding album.
paying for it,
because
yeah.
it's for them.
Well, and you don't want them coming back being like, I'm trying to buy all these frames and I can't find a 12 by 18 frame or
Right.
whatever it may be. It's a lot harder
Exactly.
finding
Go to
them than an
Michael's.
8 by 10 or standard size.
Mike Grogan. Hey, Fro, Steven, Todd, and Joe.
screw Joe.
Joe got a
I was
Don't
wondering
ever
if
say
any of
hi
you
to
have
Joe.
done any underwater photography, and if so, what equipment did you use? If not, that might be a great idea for a Fro show in the future. Thanks for keeping me entertained. Yeah, well, we want to do an underwater show either with a sharks or at an aquarium. Aquatech is a company that makes underwater housings that are like middle of the road.
Yeah.
They're middle of the road. They're not the worst. They're not the best of the best with honor, sir. But Aquatech makes them. They're more affordable. This girl I met who does surfing photos has an Aquatech that she uses with her 5D Mark III when she does that. So, yeah, that's that. Maddie Simpson. Hey, guys. The question is more aimed at Steven.
Isn't that from the cartoon, Maggie Simpson?
Maddie Simpson.
Oh, Maddie Simpson.
At Steven and Todd as it's video related. The show you videoed in the bar for Todd, the camera was being shaken by people walking on the
Yep.
floor. Is there any way to stop that in camera? Would ISVR have helped? Or would you try to use stabilization method in post? Thanks, guys. Loving the show each and every week. I want to answer that first. No, yeah, there is a way that you could do it in camera. You turn around and you punch the girl who is shaking the freaking floor.
I mean, that I think that's a different situation. Even just people walking normal by that, it was the floor. It was the nature of 100,
They could
200-year-old
be 20
building.
feet away. And
Oh,
it
I thought he was going to say it's the nature of when you have 200 people in a building to watch a show.
No, there was maybe 50 people there.
Yeah, 30.
I would do both. I would try to do both. If you know that that's the situation, I would try to stabilize it in camera if the lens can possibly even do that, and then I would probably try to stabilize in post. I considered that, like just throwing a stabilizer
Yeah, I was
on
wondering if you're
one of
gonna
the
put a
angles,
warp
and I
on
was
there
like,
or
you
something.
know,
How the
screw
video-
this. It's not really that. Doesn't need to be that stable.
That's the thing, though. I mean, you can add like a warp stabilizer in post, but I
Yeah.
just feel like it tends to, depending on the movement, if it's a little bit shaky, you can get away with that.
And if it's for a small clip,
Exactly,
it works well.
but when it's for a long
as soon as it's
take,
for a long clip, all of a sudden
You
it's
get
all
the
over
warps,
the place.
the weird
Yeah,
wobbles,
yeah.
and
So you were telling me that what you felt about using the Atomos at 6400 with that camera?
I just felt like it was a much cleaner image. I mean, it was also 10-bit 422, where a DSLR, the Nikon D750s are recording at 420 8-bit. So color correction, anything on there is going to look much cleaner.
It looked really
in
nice.
post. It's a
Because-
much bigger file and data rate, but
Right, but if you need to
what you
shoot
want.
in low light, and so that's something that you get by testing out the camera, the Atomos using it in the real world like that, is we don't shoot at high ISOs with this, but if you shot the D750 at 6400 ISO shooting video, you would see a ton more artifacts because it has to go through the processors and do all that stuff. But when you do it through the Atomos, you're getting such a more clean signal.
yeah, 6400. I was at 2.8 on there. I mean, I was as high and low as I could be.
And you got to
on that camera
imagine
for
when
that
you're going
lighting
into some of
situation.
these locations, like whether it's a kid's recital or this or that, they probably don't have state of the art lighting. It could be just as
Exactly.
He
iffy
says kids recital, he means his shows.
and things where the stage isn't designed where people are and there's
and
not a light. You know what I
things
mean?
that you
It's
don't have
just-
control over. You can't bring in
Yeah.
external
So,
light.
I mean,
They're not going to let you do that.
Having the option to bump that up way high and
Yeah.
keep a nice image is
Moving on.
And you didn't even end up touching that, I don't think, in
Nope.
post. I mean,
Nope.
it still
Because
looks pretty
Todd
clean
doesn't-
straight
Nope.
from.
he doesn't
I
have
hate
color correction.
You do.
I hate it.
So anyway, I'm enjoying using the iPad for this type of thing. For the
Cool.
show, it's working really well. Matt, INOA. Hey,
Eno.
Fro, Steven, and Todd. I'm currently a high school senior, and I plan on going to Antonelli after graduating, which I have already been accepted to.
Cool.
Congratulations. I currently have a Nikon D3200, but I want to upgrade. Holy shit. Did you see all that?
What, your
Flaky.
hair?
Well, I
Got
did
some
my hair
dandruff?
today.
Head and shoulders.
I don't know. I used some kind of special shampoo that it's
That your
like
stylist gave you?
$60. Yeah, they're like, you need to stop using Pantene Pro V.
Only the best.
Isn't Pantene supposed to be like the worst
That's
for your
what they
hair?
say, but I use it forever. But anyway, I think my hair is looking much better. Since
It
it's
looks
been
really good
trimmed,
today.
and I've been using that shampoo and conditioner.
Looks more like your logo.
yeah,
Nice and round.
That's because I did it this morning, so it's
Yeah.
only a couple hours old.
Poofy.
Right. I just don't want to do it every day.
Yeah, I don't blame you.
I currently have a Nikon D3200, but I want to upgrade before going off to college. Do you have any suggestions of what I should get? Would it be a good idea to switch over to Canon body to start with Nikon? What? Shut up.
Yeah, yep.
Thanks.
Yep,
First
Canon all
off,
the way.
Canon all the
shoot
way.
with your 3200. Do not spend money on buying another freaking camera until you
Save
know
it
that
for
this is
beer.
what you want to do.
Yeah.
True.
Do not. There's nothing wrong with the D3200. Make sure you've got a 35-1.8. Make sure you get some. I would put lenses on it. Stop. Why would you switch to Canon?
Well,
and I would
wouldn't-
say the same thing if you had a Canon right now. Why would you switch to Nikon?
And I was going to say, I wouldn't upgrade until you actually graduate from the
Right.
school and start
Yeah,
really taking
I
on
agree.
clients and jobs.
The school can't mandate that you have a full frame camera. They'd be dicks if
Are they
did
asking that?
No, I don't think they are.
No.
But next year is the first year that I think they're starting digital in the first semester.
Aren't they starting to slowly get rid of the...
They're not going to get rid of the black and white,
They're
but
not.
it's taking up less and less time.
Gotcha.
Because they're moving into the digital much quicker.
Surprised they don't start off with that, though. With
What?
film first
They
and
did.
explaining the process.
They did. They used to.
But I mean, going forward.
I don't know. I think maybe it's the first semester, and then they go and it's not the whole first year, which is what it
Interesting.
used to be.
So that's a photography school.
It's
Yeah, they
an
do
art
pho-
school,
art
isn't it?
school.
Photography and graphic design.
You gotta love chicks at art schools.
No, half of
What?
most of the so you either had the lesbian girls who weren't interested in guys, or
Well,
you had
that can
the
change.
What?
Depends on how charming you are.
there's the lesbian types. I'm angry with the world. I've got black hair and I've got piercings all over my nose.
My
And
favorite. Oh, my favorite.
And then
Like the girl from Parks and Rec.
Oh, yeah.
I love her. I love
Angry
girls
at the
like
world.
that. Angry at the world.
and that's what you have. So it's college, and then you be
You don't have like the hippie types, though?
the hipster types. Oh, there's always hipster types now.
But I mean, like, love everything and...
Oh, there's always the free flowing hippie.
Yeah.
There were definitely
There's a mix
some
of
mushroom
everything.
girls.
Yeah.
But what's cool is you get along with everybody. When you get to college, that cliquey stuff goes out, and now you're in college. You kind of
Then
get
after
along
college,
with
it comes back in.
Well, but it's pretty cool because here's the thing. You could be like, I want you to pose nude because it's for art.
And they're like, sure.
And they're like,
Hey, why don't you come smoke this with me and my friends for his birthday? Just you by yourself.
Todd, stop reliving your
My three friends.
your 20s.
God.
James Drake. Hey, Fro, Steven, Todd, Joe, Becky, and Naruto. Hashtag Feed Morgan. Had a potential client contact me in September about an event in December. I informed them that I was currently available for their event but needed a deposit to lock it in.
Yep.
They contacted me again in October, a month later, saying that they would have the deposit by the end of the week. I hadn't heard anything else from them until yesterday saying, don't forget about our event this weekend. What time will you arrive? Of course, by now I am booked for this weekend, and they are upset that
God.
they don't have a photographer.
No.
If you inform a potential client that a deposit is required to lock in their date, is it the photographer's responsibility to chase them down and remind them that they need to pay? Thanks, guys. So this goes a couple of different directions. If you get an inquiry after somebody asked you but hasn't given you a deposit, you get on the phone and you call them and say, hey, I just got an inquiry for your date. Being that it's still technically on hold for you, but you haven't paid the deposit, you need to give me the deposit right now, or I'm going to take the job from somebody else.
Yep.
That's how you deal with it. But you can't be upset, though. They can't. I mean, they can be upset, but especially when they said it's a month out and they still didn't give you a deposit and they said
Yeah.
it's coming soon, you can't really chase them down all the time. But the right thing to do is when somebody else inquires about it, you can then say, you can make the choice and just be like, hey, guys, I'm booked. I didn't get your deposit. I tried 3 times and you didn't say anything. I had to take this other job. But you need to let them know just in case something happened. But yeah, I mean, that's obviously their fault.
So they
that's
still
usually
think
protocol
they
with
still think
anyway.
he's shooting their
They
event,
did,
right?
but they never
I
gave
would
a
love to
deposit.
hear the follow-up on that to see how it turned out, if they flipped out or freaked out or whatever.
Chris Smith, hey, Three Musketeers, and Joe, J-O, the female spelling. I have been struggling with the creative and composition aspect of my photography. I understand the exposure triangle and have that spot on, I believe. I have been reading this book that explains how to critique your own images in order to improve your framing, and it helps a lot. I was
your own
curious
images.
if you have any methods you practice in order to ensure great composition and great subjects. Keep up the amazing podcast. A Canadian Flatland, Saskatchewan fan.
Nice.
Reading a book to learn how to critique. to get composition, look at other people's work that's great. Open up any photo book, any photo magazine, anything that's out there throughout history of photography, and watch them. The best way to get composition is watch a movie.
Yeah.
Watch a movie, because almost every shot is set up, composed properly. Yes, it's a 16:9 or it's a different aspect ratio, but just see how they frame things and look at that. That's if you study film, if you watch movies, every shot. Look at the symmetry of what's that guy's name? Moonrise Kingdom and Darjeeling Limited.
Oh God.
Jason Schwartzman's in every one of his movies.
I'm drawing a total blank.
I don't know.
Let's go.
Keep going,
Joe. Somebody scream it at the screen right now.
I know.
Louder.
Can't hear you.
We can't hear you. Scream it louder.
What? Huh?
What's his name? Moonrise Kingdom?
Oh, I can almost hear you. What?
Yes. Wes Anderson. Thank you. I finally heard you out there screaming it 5 minutes ago. Look how he shoots. Perfectly straight lines, symmetry. Yeah, that's his style. So do something like that.
Just keep in mind the composition
like
for,
that.
for movies is
look
much
at look at different ways different people do
That's what I'm
things
saying.
and see what you like the best.
Look at the
Exactly.
photo books. Watch movies. See how they compose that
Yeah.
stuff.
Definitely be diverse with what you're
Cameron
watching.
Baldwin. Good day, Fro. Stephen and Todd. I'm Aussie. No shit. You said good day. Good day.
Good eye.
Good day.
Good eye.
What are your thoughts on online photography classes that I see a lot of pro photographers offering? I don't know what that was. As someone just beginning to sell my work, I feel like having completed some kind of course would look good on my resume. No, absolutely freaking not. Would an online course? It's like people are like, can we get a FRO certificate? Like if I was to teach a class, all right, and then I print out a graduation form that you graduated FRO Knows Photo beginner class, put that on your resume. Do you think somebody's going to give a shit? And first off, people don't care about resumes anymore. It's about your work. Keep going here. However, I suspect these online courses are just money-making schemes. Some are upwards of $1,000, and I wouldn't learn anything that I couldn't learn from buying your guides and watching your videos. Cheers, mate. Well, first off, my guides are, in essence, they're like classes. They're just not $1,000 freaking dollars. I've dabbled
Can
with...
we change that?
I've dabbled with the idea of doing high ticket things where it's like mentorship and it's $1,000 a month or $2,500 a month.
I'm
and
in.
we talk once a week or twice a week. Sorry, not twice a week, twice a month, and critique your work and stuff like that. I'm sure people would buy it. I may offer something like that. It's a high ticket item that, you know, people would be like, you're an asshole for offering this, but you know what? Somebody's going to pay for it.
He's
Somebody
gonna be
would
an
say,
asshole
wants
even if
it.
it's cheaper though. So
Right.
let's be real.
So, yes, some of those classes out there, like New York Institute of Photography, I think is a big absolute joke. Yeah, they give you things to do, and they say they have teachers critiquing your stuff and all this stuff, but it's a lot of money, and you don't need their certificate. You do not need a certificate to look good on your resume. Your resume is your photos.
Yeah, your portfolio is your resume in any
Exactly.
creative space.
Yep.
Good day, mate. Steve Hastings. Hey, not a question, but I really wanted to say thank you for the Adorama code you gave shortly after reviewing the D5500. I sold it to my neighbor.
Oh, yeah.
The code, along with all of the great knowledge I learned from your videos, helped me create a book full of my grandparents' pictures. Around that time, the code was given. My grandpa passed away, and the photo book gave my grandma something to look at whenever she
Nice.
misses
Oh.
him.
Nice.
Seriously, thanks for the code and all of the great content. Also, hi, Fro, Steven, and Todd, the proper order and the way it
You
should
know what?
be.
You just ruined your entire. I was almost liking you until now.
That's awesome, though.
So screw you and
it's
your
the
photo
little
book.
things.
Hashtag I shoot raw.
That's cool.
Yeah, so making prints is still important, especially photo books
Oh, yeah.
mean a lot to people.
Memories,
Yeah, that's
man.
nice.
Tevin Limone. Hey guys, is that like Marcus Lemonis?
Sounds like it.
Hey guys, have you ever lost a sponsor of the show because of how fun and loose you guys are instead of being more professional?
Not yet.
Which might be what they're looking for. Look, if they're looking to be more professional, we're freaking professional at what we do in our way, and if they don't get it, we're not going to be I wouldn't take their sponsorship if they didn't get it. If a company came to me and said, "We want you to say this, this, and this," I'd be like, "No."
I'll say it.
We'll say whatever we want, the way that we want to say it. If you want to give input on how we should do something, what makes the sponsorship fun that we do is when we make fun of Hoya and talk about the 800% harder. They find it to be funny. And if the people that we're working with don't get it, guess what? We're not working with them because it's just how we are. This is how we do it. And I'm not going to pander to a sponsor or an advertiser who says you shouldn't do this way and you shouldn't make fun of us, because the whole point is you're not perfect. They're not perfect. Not everything is perfect.
Everyone's different.
There's
too.
always something, right? And so I'm not going to pander to the middle. That's not going to happen.
Boom.
I
Drop
will
the
if the
mic.
check's right, though.
What was that?
I will if the check's right. I'll say
do need
anything
to
you
feed
want. I'll
Morgan
say
eventually.
anything you want.
What's this section brought to you by, Todd?
Pampers. Dry your ass today.
No, that's Gold Bond. If you
Gold
don't want
Bond.
to chaff,
Gold Bond. Keep your rod nice and dry.
keep your... All right, Todd. Reese Alexander Smith, Todd and Jared.
Yep.
So I've been really studying
No
living...
wait. No Steven?
Yeah, no, there's no Steven in here.
Perfect. Absolutely perfect.
So I've been really studying living a minimalist lifestyle. That's why he got rid of Steven's name. In parentheses, tiny house, only what you need, yada yada, and been really think of how this applies to one's gear. I try to only buy the best one time, and what I know, well, Jesus Christ, it's just
His name's Jesus Christ?
no, it's just that the way it's written. I try to only buy the best one time and what I know I'll need. How do you decide on gear purchases? Do you have any general questions or guides? Thanks, Todd. Oh, wait a second.
His
oh,
name's Todd?
Wait, why do you thanks Todd? His
I'm
name's
the best.
Alexander Smith.
I'm the best.
Maybe it's Alexander Smith, Todd, and Jared. Well, congratulations on being one of those tiny house people, that tiny house America.
That shit is blowing
Jared's
up, man.
minimalist, too.
While I live in this loft.
We struggle to find chairs in this house.
No,
Yeah.
we don't.
What?
True.
I've got so many places for you to put your ass.
Remember when we used to do the podcast on the little freaking stools?
I do. I was
the
very
worst.
minimalist about chairs.
Oh my god.
Not about I like size and I like toys.
Oh, hey.
Whoa,
now.
whoa.
When it comes to buying gear,
Wow.
I buy the best of the best of the best with honor, sir, of what I need. So that's what happens. Just buy some. But if you have a tiny house, you maybe won't be. Maybe if you want to live
You don't have enough
minimalist,
room.
maybe you want to be minimalist. Just shoot with one camera and one lens and just stick with it.
Yeah, in that case.
Jake Snyder. Hi, Jared, Steven, and Todd. I have noticed with all of your Christmas lists and Fro's favorite things, all of the items are listed on Amazon instead of the native site, which I will explain in a second. Is this just out of convenience, or have you worked your magical business powers and somehow partnered with Amazon? If so, what does the relationship look like? Because I know you are picky with who you partner with. The reason we pick, well, yes, we do have an agreement that we're working with Amazon where they request certain videos to be made. We make them, and they put them up onto their channel. We also put them on Facebook and YouTube too, because we get more content out of it. So they reached out many, like 6 months ago at this point. We worked something out where I make content for them, and then I get to use it on all the channels we use it for, and we get the perks of having it up on Amazon. They're building their channel. It's not huge yet, but they're working on it. So all that stuff is being worked on. In terms of picking the Fro's favorite things, it's just so much easier to pick it off of Amazon, because everything that's on Amazon or on other sites is usually on Amazon.
Yeah.
So that's why we picked it that
I buy
way.
everything off Amazon. I don't step in a mall during the holidays. Amazon's my
I'm
mall.
the same way, dude.
Yep.
I already did all my shopping.
I'll do.
Done in,
I'm
like,
almost done.
an hour.
I'm almost done.
It's great.
Yeah, I love it.
David Steiner, Fro, Steven, Joe, and Taco Bell Becky. Could you provide some guidance on printing? I just upgraded to the 70 Mark II, and I keep seeing online printing sites recommend 300 dpi for printing anything. Yet I know that it could be lower depending on viewing distance. How large can I print, assuming typical viewing distance is less than 10 feet? Does material matter? Can I get away with lower resolution when printing on canvases compared to metal?
It's a lot of questions.
Just leave it at 300 dpi.
Yeah.
Why wouldn't you?
I've always left it at 350.
That's what I've done
300 or
too.
350.
And I don't know all the ins and outs of resolution, but that doesn't really affect like you don't want it at 72. So whatever they say, leave it at 300. But it's about making sure that you have a quality image. There is no limit to how large you can make a print. I can make an amazing print in bright sunny daylight with my iPhone that you'd never know the difference of if I printed it the size of a billboard or a wall.
Yep.
I can take my my D2H that's 4.1 megapixels from back in the day, take one of those files and make it the size of a wall. You wouldn't know the difference. You really wouldn't if it is exposed properly. Or you could have a D4S and take a shitty photo at 12,800 and try to blow it up, and you're not going to get great results because then you cropped it and all that stuff like Todd.
And usually whatever service you're using as far as printers go,
Will tell
like
you.
Adorama,
Yeah.
for example, they'll tell you. They'll give you the specs. They'll
Yep.
say you need to be at this DPI or like this color space used, whatever.
I do 72 at Photo Barn.
Brandon Lee Wells, what are your thoughts about improving SEO on your website? I keep hearing more about targeting your local market through SEO being a huge driver of online marketing. I think people misunderstand SEO like there's some secret that you need to do, that some SEO genius, these fucking companies out there that just rip people off saying they'll do all this, and they'll get you ranked on Google, Bing, and Yahoo.
I'll do it for you. I'll do it for you.
Sweet.
Send me a check.
The key to this is you write freaking articles and pertinent information that has targeted keywords that make sense. So you're a photographer in Philadelphia. How to get more booking jobs and come up with something. Getting married in Philadelphia? Here's 10 photo tips. Look at Mike Olabak, Tattooed Bride. He does those things all the time.
He does do it a lot.
And so
I
that
love it.
helps your SEO ranking because it's hyper local. It's hyper focused. When somebody searches and they see Bucks County photographer and your name comes up because you've done articles about Bucks County,
Best photo
Philadelphia.
locations
You put
in
tags.
Philadelphia.
Right. The best places to have your wedding party.
Shooting
The best
weddings
places
at 12,800.
the best places to buy your wedding dress. Make sure you have wedding and dress. Make sure that you have the best places in
Best
Philadelphia.
photographers that do 12,800 ISO.
5 places to get married in Philadelphia.
In a church.
And you write the article.
Or a
That's
church.
what I have to say. Paul Filmer, FST. I don't know what the FST is. I have an RX100 Mark IV question. What's the optimum setting for slow-mo video? Best compromise between quality and slow speed, and how is that achieved via the complicated setup menu? What have you found works? 240, 480?
So 240 is probably the best because you're getting the effective pixel readout of what it's actually capturing is about a full 1080 resolution image. Where if you're going to 960, it takes about like a 480p image and basically stretches that out to a 1080p image, which in turn, makes the quality, it makes it not as great. Anyway, there's also 2 different settings on there. There's a quality setting and I think like a proximity setting or something like that.
Proximity?
What's it called?
Proximity mines and GoldenEye?
Yeah.
Let me check real quick.
You want me to keep going while you search?
Sure, yeah.
Bill Friggle. Hi, King Fro and his minions.
Screw that guy.
I am disabled.
Well, don't.
What do you
screw
have to
him.
say now,
No,
Todd?
He's cool.
What do you have to say now, Todd?
He's cool.
And use a power chair.
What's a power chair?
You think of Jaleel's chair that he uses his own power, his
Yeah,
arms.
yeah.
It's an
Yeah, you
electric
just scoot
chair.
around in.
It's like a scoot. Yeah.
I'd like one of those.
I have a hard time using a tripod. Stop trying to make up for making fun of the handicap guy.
I didn't make fun of him.
messed up.
I told him to piss off
Messed up.
when he called me a minion.
You still tell him to piss off even though he's in a chair?
For the minion, yes.
All right, good.
Yeah.
Because you have to be equal opportunity.
Yeah.
I have a hard time using a tripod, not being able to get close enough to the back of the cameras due to the chair not fitting between the legs of the tripod.
Oh.
The tripod, Todd.
Yeah.
It's not like you could...
Or the bride.
Well, I mean, Stephen Hawking has kids, so somehow he was able to have kids.
Yeah.
It's true.
Yeah.
Do you have any ideas on how to make it work? I have thought of an idea, but it would take an engineer and a metal shop to get it done, and it would cost more than I can afford. Any advice would be greatly appreciated. Keep up the great work. Great content. Love it. Jaleel probably has some advice. So,
Yeah.
Jaleel, look for Bill Friggle, or Bill Friggle, go to Jaleel King's website and send him a message, because
He'll definitely respond.
He's rigged
Yeah.
things up too. But if I
He
were
has.
you, I would look into something like Gorilla Pods and would maybe put a bar at the front of your wheelchair or
That's what I was
something.
thinking.
And so then you could put a really intense Gorilla Pod on it so that it's closer to
Super
you,
clamp,
so that
something.
you could do it. Or you can use Wi-Fi in a lot of the new cameras today to allow you to be further back and still see what's happening. You could use like the iPad.
Wow, that's pretty smart.
Steven, go
That's
back to
pretty
that.
smart.
Oh, back to this. So there is a priority setting. That's what it's called, not proximity. The priority setting either sets to quality priority or shoot time priority. Now, shoot time, this depends on how the length of the slow motion. You can get a 2-second clip or a 4-second clip. If you do quality priority, it'll give you a 2-second clip, but it's higher quality. Shoot time will give you 4 seconds, but it's lower quality. So definitely shoot in quality. Again, 240 frames per second is probably your best bet for resolution-wise.
And you're saying add extra light.
And add a ton of extra light because your shutter speed, depending on what your frame rate is, usually is double that. So you're probably shooting
Which
at
means your
least,
ISO has to get it bumps your
you're
ISO
probably shooting at
automatically.
least 1/500th of a second if you're doing 240 frames per second. And then you also have record timing. Remember we were trying to figure out
Yes.
the trigger? So you have an end trigger option or a start trigger. If you do end trigger and you start, it basically is always constantly recording.
Yep.
And then when you hit to actually record the movie, it captures 2 seconds prior to that.
Right, so you do it at
ends
the end of
clip.
the action.
Exactly,
That's
which is
perfect.
the best to do it at.
Yeah, show the footage that we did here again of the dart. hitting the animal. We didn't use the end one for that, but then we figured out you can use the end one, and then that was better. Remind me, I got to charge the extra battery for that for tomorrow.
Will do.
Kirby Heartline. Hi, Fro. If you had to take one, either Naruto or Taco Bell Becky as an intern, which would you pick? Probably Naruto because he's good in front of the camera, smiles, and he knows how to take pictures.
Hello?
He did offer. I haven't talked to him about salary yet. There are benefits. From what I understand, Steven has insurance. Yes, he's covered for sweating. Yes.
Carl Wilson. Hey, Fro. I read photography blog, and the author says he doesn't charge a session fee. He gives multiple reasons why he thinks it's a good idea. The primary idea being that he thinks clients buy more prints and spend more money when the photos are presented to them. What are your thoughts on session fee versus no session fee in this case? This is on portrait photography, not weddings and events. I've never charged a session fee ever.
What's that, just to come in?
It's like, yeah, it's going to be $150 for me to come and
show
shoot.
up.
You know what I do? I create a fee. Here's how much the entire thing's going to cost. It's just less harmful.
Yeah.
It's just like somebody I used to work with always talked about their creative fee. My creative fee is $400, and then they're like, "What the fuck is your
I
creative
like that.
fee?"
Jared, I have a creative fee for RAWtalk now.
Right.
I want to talk to you about that after the show. Whoa.
What are you doing?
I don't know. I just rolled, but. That's the creative. Yes, you have your creative fee, but you put it all together.
Yes.
Come up with one price. It makes it much easier to say to somebody, "Hey, it's going to be X amount of dollars." Oh no, there's no sitting fee, and guess what? They think you're cool. Because no, you're not charging them $200 to sit in a sitting fee. Some people try it's $200, but once we do it, I give you $200 in print credit. That's one thing you could do, but.
Well, and when you give people a laundry list of what each and everything costs, they're like, "Well, I don't need that." And I don't need a flash.
And then they start cutting it off.
I don't need a flash.
Yeah.
I don't need that lens.
Wheel, Joe, get the wheel.
So,
please.
One price to rule them all.
That is the end of flying solo. Have I mentioned that you can still get that Video Blocks deal?
Oh, no.
50%
What's that?
off with that videoblocks.com/x/Fronos, capital VB49.
Yeah, nuke just went off.
Hurry up until they turn it off.
They forgot to turn it off.
Or wait to hurry up.
All right, on the Wheel of FRO, we have Borrow Lenses, where it landed last week. That's for $250 in photo credit. We use Borrow Lenses. We use them a lot for the Fronos Photo Show. When I need to get certain gear to play with or to review, I go to Borrow Lenses to get it. Fro Prize. Squarespace.com/Fro to get your Squarespace. Get a 14-day free trial. Try it out. It's what I use to make my photo website. I need to try out the e-commerce section. If you're looking to build an e-commerce store, I need to put my photos into the store and start selling them. I'm going to do that. I think people ask for it, so I'm going to try it, and I'll do limited edition, 10 prints at this size, metal.
I still get number one.
You're not getting number one. So we use Square. Videoblocks.com/go/Fro, or in this case, use the code that's up on the use the link up on the screen right now to get 50% off until they turn it off. So hurry up because I don't know when they're turning it off.
Hurry.
Lexar, the official card of RAWtalk. We use them we use the SDs, micro SDs,
all the
and
cameras
compact
we're
flash
using
cards. We even have C flash cards as well. Sorry, C-Fast. Black Rapid strap. We got Rode microphones. We use the Rode broadcasters. I've been using the Video Mic Me. Is that the one?
The Mic Me is the one for the phone, yes.
That's what I've been using for the video for the live Facebook.
So you have been using it.
That sounds good, yeah.
Does sound really good.
Because if I'm shooting this way and shooting something on this end, it's using this microphone.
Yep.
So if I'm talking, it sounds like I'm in a tin can. But if I'm shooting this way and I put the microphone down here to face me for the Video Mic Me, boom, $59. Yeah.
Can't beat it.
I'm taking that with me to Mexico
there you
too.
go.
So when I'm sitting on the beach, I'm going to make some videos.
Ooh. Hey.
Spin Again, Black Hole, Adorama Picks get free credit for prints. We use them for a lot of metal prints. Pro Prize, Think Tank Photo. You can get a Think Tank bag. Audioblocks.com/go/Fro. We've got Lexar again. Hoya. We use the Hoya.
Yeah.
We got to pick up one for New York tomorrow.
We do. We need a variable ND.
Nice logo.
For
Nice
58 millimeter variable ND.
Yep.
They have it. We're going to get it to the
XC10s.
store. We can walk there right after we get off the train.
That's what I'm thinking.
Right off the train.
It's
I'll
right
pre-buy it. It's 2 blocks away. We'll
Pick it up
pick it
in
up
store.
from the Jews, and then we'll go to Empire State Building.
Be good to go.
Rode microphone again, ? And that's it. Todd, what time is it, bro?
It's time to play this week's entries.
Ooh,
From
forgot.
who sent in their
Wheel of FRO submissions.
Their Wheel of FRO intros.
Yes.
And what's the email again,
And if you
Steven?
guys want to fill out your own or send in your own Wheel of FRO submission, it's singwheeloffro@gmail.com. You can
Now, we
record it on a
have-
phone. You can record it on whatever.
Yeah,
Yeah.
just
Send
record
it
the
in.
damn thing and send it in. And guess what we're going to start doing? I'm going to start picking the Wheel of FRO spinners from the people that submit to that email for your audio.
Oh.
Yeah.
There go the questions. No more questions.
No more incentive
So
for that.
you know what? There were so many good ones. I had to pick a handful of them.
There
this
were a
week.
lot this
So
week, yep.
This one's Mike Grogan. I believe this one's interesting.
Spin that wheel.
That's not the same as last week?
I thought that was last week's.
No, this is last week.
Spin.
Oh, it sounds the same.
Two different guys. That's Mike Grogan, the one I
Okay.
played.
Spin that wheel.
Maybe don't smoke weed the next time you send it in. Next one is Mike Brulo. This one is Screamo version. Is that what it's called?
Screamo version, yep. Oh, that's interesting.
I don't understand what Screamo is, though.
Yeah.
Like, what does that mean?
Screaming emo music. Like you're screaming like that, like, whoa.
Like millennials, like,
No, it's, well,
It's like pop punk mixed with like screaming at the same time. Like
Screaming.
choruses. Yeah, screamo.
okay.
but then there's a whiny guy who sings very, I wish my hair was long that it would kill me
And then it's like, oh,
and ruin my body.
dad.
So I die happy.
there's so many subgenres.
I turn myself and burn it down to kill my body. To kill my body.
Is that Dashboard?
Dashboard.
He's not screamo.
No, but they never. But that's the whiny guy. Generally,
Okay,
you have the
gotcha.
screaming guy in the
Yeah.
background.
Yeah.
All right, keep going. We need to keep moving.
All right, and we got one from Gloria Paddock.
Oh, Gloria! Do you know who
girl.
Gloria is?
Oh, the winner.
Gloria won the D750.
Wait, did she really?
That's who this
She's
is.
the Gloria. Yeah,
Ah.
Gloria.
Oh, so she sent one in. So here's
for her.
Gloria's version.
Spin that wheel.
That's hot, Gloria.
Super hot.
Dude,
Gloria.
we need to get a porn one in.
I'm gonna take Gloria's home with me if you don't mind.
So please send those in.
Hold on, I got one more.
Well, should we save it for the actual spin?
I was actually gonna try to play them all for the actual spin.
All right, what's this other one?
Corey Hutchkowski. God bless you. And he went a little beyond the Call of Duty, and I'll just play it for you.
It's time for the Wheel of FRO. Jared Polin, spin that wheel.
Definitely a radio dude.
Yeah.
For sure.
We need to get Dave Leno.
He's good.
We need to make a list of stuff
Oh, yeah, we
to give to
should.
Dave Leno.
Oh, yeah,
So he
yeah,
could be
yeah.
like, here's photo news with Steven.
Just give him this at the radio station. We would give him a whole liner sheet and just read them all off.
He'll
and
do it.
I'll
We should
cut them up.
totally
And
do that.
We'll get Dave
Add all
Leno.
the
By the way,
Here's Todd making an inappropriate comment.
go find Dave Leno on Facebook or YouTube. He has his he just did another ESPN game the other day.
What is it? ESPN
3.
3 he works
He did
for or
ESPN
something?
3, but he just did another. He's really good.
A lot
He's
of
young,
college
but so
sports.
good.
Yeah.
He's,
I've been looking at him all week in the editing guide because I'm editing the
Ah.
editing
EPK
guide
part?
portion of the EPK
I
that he's
forgot
in.
we even filmed that.
Yeah,
Wow.
Yep.
That's funny.
Hold on now. All right, so
So you're going to try and fire them all off on your laptop at once.
I'm going to try to fire off all 5, including the one from last week.
And
we'll
this
see-
is actually live. This is not me doing this in
yeah,
post,
I'm going to
everyone.
play all these at one time. If it sounds bad, Steven did do it, and it's horrible. All right, here we go.
Spin that wheel.
That actually sounds good.
around and around it goes. Where it stops, nobody knows. The Wheel of FRO is about to stop on an amazing prize. Amazing prize. What is that amazing prize? Oh, shnikes. Ba-ba-ba-ba. Think Tank bag. Congratulations to whoever's name is popping up on the screen. You have just won yourself a Think Tank photo bag, not mine.
I liked how you said their name in the audio
Well,
podcast.
I
Did you?
have to do it again this week, so let's give it a second. Congratulations to
James Drake.
Okay.
All right, so that's it, right? That's the end of what we need to do.
Thank God.
That is the end. Yep.
Don't forget about the Video Blocks special because they are going to turn it off at some point soon. But go to the site up on the screen right now if you want to get 50% off and you are a new customer for $49 for the year. You can't go wrong.
That is the best deal they offered, right?
It is the best deal
that's
they've
really
kind of
awesome.
ever offered. And I think next year it goes up to $99 or something.
If you do
re-
video, you have to have it.
Yep.
So we'll talk more about that when we get to the video guides. And that's going to be it, right?
Yep. Should we end with a hashtag for those who made it this far?
Yeah, Todd. We need to be thinking of hashtags.
Let me see.
I don't know what you're
Hold
going to
on.
say.
I'm thinking maybe I Love Todd.
No.
Why?
No.
That's a horrible
No.
one.
That's horrible?
Steven's face just went blood red when that came out of your mouth.
Blood
That
red,
is-
Todd. That's insensitive.
What you said was insensitive just now.
not
Let me
insensitive.
see. It should be.
Hashtag Gloria.
Gloria.
It came out of Glory's hole. Gloria hole?
No.
Hashtag Gloria hole?
Hashtag glory hole. Hashtag feed Todd's daughter.
Feed Morgan.
Yeah.
Well, I saw somebody wrote that.
Someone did actually hashtag that.
All right, let's so we know that you got to the end of the show.
Hashtag I Love Todd.
Why don't we do at Frono's photo? Make sure you do that, but leave a space at the beginning so everybody sees it, and then say hashtag feed Morgan
Feed Morgan.
or help feed
One
Morgan.
word.
Meet feed Morgan.
Feed Morgan.
Well, yeah, Feed Morgan. Buy the video guys now that they're not on sale.
Oh, right.
Yeah,
right.
that's
All
more
one
helpful.
big hashtag,
yeah,
right?
now it's more helpful.
And
for
please
me.
send in your Wheel of Fro moments and your Wheel of Fro spinning,
Yeah,
and we're going to
the
leave it
singing
that.
submissions,
For all
yep.
the photo news and more, go to fronosphoto.com/rawtalk-161. And thank you, Stephen.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Todd. Thank you, Joe.
Don't talk, Joe.
Thank you, Jared. Oh, that's it. That's this show. It's over.
It's
Jared
done.
Polin, fronosphoto.com. See ya.